What's good? What's good? Hi. It's a lot of highs in the building. What's going on? Hello. Let me know if you can hear me. I do a podcast. Sometimes I have to play with my microphone settings, and they don't always automatically go back to how they're supposed to. Give me a one in the comment section if you can hear me. Um, Happy birthday, whoever is having a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so y'all can hear me good. Happy birthday. I'm not sure who we talking to, but happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jasmine Renee's son, whose birthday was yesterday. How you doing? Uh, are they talking? I guess somebody's look. Whoever is having a birthday, the comment section is lit for you right now. Happy birthday to you. Um, Let me dig into this. Oh, Beatrice. So it's your birthday, Beatrice. Well, happy birthday. All right. Happy Wednesday, Kevin. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Um, Look, now people in the comment section talk about my birthday was in April. All right, happy birthday month. Happy belated birthday month. Um, Solid. Well, I guess we'll get into this. I don't really have a reason or a plan. Y'all know I just kind of get on here and go random, reaching for my water. Uh, I ain't been on here in a minute. I haven't been live in a minute. I think I've been live on Instagram twice since the last time I went live here. Um, Hold on, I gotta show that. Yeah, I've been live a couple times. I did a couple features on Instagram. Hello from Youngstown, Ohio. You look like my little cousin. I might be your little cousin. I don't know my father, and I have a lot of brothers and siblings I don't know. So I could, in fact, be your little cousin. That's the scary part about it all. Hmm. Um, why do people think it's my birthday? It is not my birthday. My birthday is October 10th. Jamila says happy birthday. It is not my birthday. Look, I wish it was my birthday. My birthday is October 10th. But hey, love and respect that. Look, the Cash App is $ Kev Hick. If you think it's my birthday and you wanted to drop something off, I ain't mad at you. But it's not my birthday. Um, in fact, if it is your birthday, you might want to put your Cash App in there. All right. So I don't even know if I got a moderator. My wife may be watching TV. She might jump in. I didn't ask my cousin to moderate because I don't know if she has shit to do. It is a weeknight, and I don't like to intrude. But my cousin might jump in here, moderate, and y'all better not play with her because she don't play back. VC, I'm gonna jump right into this, and I will answer questions for free, obviously, but it might get a little bit competitive. VC says, how soon should I give my number to a guy after talking to him online? I think you should give your number to a guy once you feel comfortable and you're pleased with the depth of the conversation. You're pleased with the whatever intelligence he's showing you, with whatever interesting facts about himself he's divulged. As soon as you're ready to move the conversation to the phone. You're not really saving yourself a whole lot because a person can look up your phone number. Somebody can Google your phone number, or pay $15 a month for one of those spy websites and get your phone number. So I don't see the phone number as like a safety concern for the most part, because if somebody wants to get to you, they will get to you. Especially with all of us on social media, where there's almost no basic privacy or privacy of basic information anymore. So if you feel comfortable enough talking to the guy that you don't feel he's a threat to your physical safety, and he's shown enough intellect that you want to talk to him on the phone and expand upon the conversation, is give your phone number to him. But I don't like when women take the guy's phone number and call him first. I don't prefer that, just because it sets a precedent that you will be doing all the forward moving in the relationship or in the situationship. Sets a precedent that you will be the aggressor, and I don't like that. So if a guy does offer you his phone number, um, tell him, if you want to talk to me, you can call me. Here's my number. But don't do the whole, okay, I'll be calling you. When can I call? Don't do that. That's kind of played out. Um, I hope that answers your question. As soon as you want to, but don't take his number. Make sure he wants your number and make sure he's calling you and taking the initiative. Um, Ashley Beverly, shout out Ashley Beverly. She said, how would you interpret two exes reaching back out to you all of a sudden trying to start conversations? We aren't friends. Most of the time when an ex reaches out, trying to start conversations or seemingly for no reason at all, it's because they're bored, they're lonely, they are in the middle of a phase of nostalgia, and they have no prospects. Their prospects have dried up. They probably don't have anybody waiting for their calls. They don't have anybody who cares if they're at home late or not. If they stay out at late, if they stay out late at home, a lot of times when people's romance and love prospects dry up, they start reaching out to people who they've known in that way because they hope that that level of intimacy that they all crave is still there. Even people who don't want a relationship still crave some level of intimacy and some level of love and depth from other people. And many times the only place you can get that from a familiar person is in an ex, because new people don't really care about you. You really have to make an impression on new people for them to give a damn. And you always got that love. There's always a residual love that you get from an ex. And so sometimes they come in because they maybe want you back or they miss you, but most of the time it's because they're bored. And we always forget things. We sometimes we forget why we didn't stick with someone, or why we didn't stay together, because it seems so much easier to be with someone who we're not compatible with than to be lonely, which is something that many of us fear. So if an ex is reaching back to you, or two exes are reaching back to you, just remember why they're your ex in the first place, and start with that. Um, okay, my Forex stuff is jumping. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get control of that app. So I hope that answers your question. But I don't think that if you're not friends with your ex, they're a valuable enough person in your life to be reaching back out to. So let them just keep them on read or red. I'm sorry, let's leave them on red and do your thing. Continue your life. If your life is going well, continue your life. It's not worth the trouble. All right, so I'm gonna jump into these. I don't even know how many. There was a lot of birthday stuff going on. I don't know how that started. Let me get into this. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Sky says, "How are you?" I'm lovely, wonderful, uh, blessed. All of those things. I don't have no complaints. I've been trying to do this thing where I start my days with gratitude for the last year and a half. Of course, I have days where I'm a little bit off. But when I start my day with gratitude, especially if I'm thinking about, my family structure and, my sons and my wife and stuff like that, I'm really not bothered by anything. So I just keep the perspective, very simple for me, a family up here, nothing else matters. And so consequently, I do very well every day because as long as my family's straight, I'm straight. And I take a lot of pride in making sure that they're straight. So, I'm fueled, I'm motivated. Damn. Okay, so we got a lot of let me get into these. Love you, Kev. Got no question, but love the energy you put out. I appreciate that. Solid. Um, dig into this. Miss Charles, how you doing? Just supporting, saying hi, friend. Hope you and your family are doing well. Thank you so much. She's one of my first ever supporters. I appreciate her. All hell Jay, I'm online dating, and every time I ask a man what they're looking for, they say they want to vibe with someone. What does vibe mean? Generally, vibe means they want to chill, or they want to hang out with someone. They want to kick it. To vibe or to kick it or to hang out. I'm popular this evening. To vibe or to kick it or to hang out basically just means to have fun. If a man is chasing pleasure, he wants to vibe and kick it and chill. If a man is chasing happiness, he wants to connect, he wants to grow, he wants to get to know, he wants to invest. So vibe is generally another more elevated, more evolved word for chill, which, and we all know Netflix and chill. You usually chill on your back or on your knees and hands. So vibe generally means they just want a casual relationship, nothing substantial or worthwhile. I hope that answers your question. I'm trying to make sure I dig into all of these. They're coming up a little quicker than usual. Thank you for that. Online dating can be frustrating. Most guys don't even make an effort to initiate conversation. Saying hi, how are you, hey there, I don't respond. The thing is this, online dating can be frustrating, but you can't You can't assume that everybody knows how to approach a beautiful woman, even online. Even online, as much as you could Google to figure out how to talk to women, some guys just don't understand. They don't get it, and we don't really know as guys, what a woman is going to respond to. And trust me, almost every guy who means anything has attempted to write a thoughtful email out to a beautiful woman or a beautiful profile pic, because that's all you're seeing is a person's profile pic, and you'd be amazed at how many profiles that these guys write before they get one reply. I remember trying to talk to a girl on MySpace, and I was thoughtful and everything, and I'd write a paragraph and nothing, right? And then sometimes I would say hi, and I would get love back. So try not to hold the entrance against the man as far as the hi, how you doing, or how we try to ignite your attention. But the conversation right after that needs to be something that can sustain your interest. But as far as how he makes his entrance, sometimes it's just guys don't know better. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You want a guy who doesn't know what the hell he's doing when he's talking to women over a guy who's an absolute pro, because that shows his experience and his potential lack of investment in the opportunity. So a weak entrance, it's not desirable, but try to be more understanding of a weak entrance. But as soon as you start that conversation, he better be talking about something. If he's not dropping paragraphs, leave him on red. If he didn't have anything to tell you, if he's just trying to trade pleasantries for an hour or so before he sends you an unsolicited D pic, drop him. Guys should have something to talk about. Ali White, I appreciate you. She said, keep it up. She got the pair lifting weights. I like that. I wish my workout where it was as vigorous at the moment. This quarantine is really killing my vibe with the workout right now. I am not getting them in like I'm supposed to. Really picking up the dad bod fears in the last week. Curtis Johnson, love and respect to you, brother. I love when the guys reach out, because there's a lot of good guys out here, and I'm glad that at some point they started representing themselves, even in my channel that's normally geared to women. But all of these messages are from a basis of psychology. So they all relate to each other. And if you're a guy, you can still get some from this channel. Anyway, he said, thank you for your videos. I'm learning a lot for your advice. I'm taking my time and working on myself so that the right man will come along. Thanks, Kev. Solid. I'm happy for you, brother. Continue watching my videos, and I appreciate you. And thank you for the super chat. Vanessa Harris, my favorite person in the world. How you doing, Vanessa? She said, why would a guy continue to reach out to you when you made it clear that you are in no way interested in casual sex? Because somehow or another, he's been able to convince other women that said the same thing, that no means yes. And when a woman says no and doesn't appear to mean no, she's done herself a great disservice. And many women do, and they do each other a disservice, because the next woman says no and it's not believed, it's not taken seriously. No one thinks that it means anything. So all you can do is say no a little bit ruder and make it a little bit more awkward and make it a little bit more less desirable for him to come at you like that. If he feels like he still has access to you and he's not respecting the word no, then he'll continue to do it. If he loses access to you by not respecting your boundaries, then he'll never do it again. But at that point, does it really matter? Fuck him. Man, this is rapid fire. Y'all got me going. You rock, bro. Appreciate your awesome talks. I learned a lot. I appreciate you, Anthony. I appreciate you, brother. Man, there's a lot of guys up in the comment section today. Crystal RP said, hey, Kev, my boyfriend is 6 months, wants us to live together. He's 21. I'm 21. I'm sorry. He's 30. He treats me well, helps financially. We get along. Is this too soon? Nope. I think I moved in with my wife after, I want to say 4 months. Listen, when somebody's treating you right, as long as you're not financially obligated to them, as long as you're not financially tied to the relationship because you can afford to move out, as long as you have money in the bank to where if some shit went down, you can just go get your own place and you're not stuck in that place because you're there out of need or out of dependence, you can move in with somebody. Hell, in 2 weeks, if he gets on your damn nerves, you can move out if your money's under you. So don't move in with a guy at all, period, under no circumstances. If you don't have enough money for the first month rent, the deposit, and the last month's rent to get the hell up out of there if it gets too hot or it gets too crazy. But if you got your paper under you and you're not dependent on him, even though he helps financially, if you're not dependent on him, then you can move in. But you better save that first and last month rent just in case you get crazy, because you don't want to be stuck with somebody because you can't afford to leave them. And I talk to a lot of people like that. So make sure that you got your shit together before you do that. Man, I can barely keep up with y'all today. T's World, this guy stood, excuse me. This guy's has stood me up, ghosted me now 3 times. He consistently stalks my IG stories and said he had a crush on me since 7 to 8 years ago, and has reached out to me initially. And he reached out to me initially. What do you think? I think that if he's ghosted you 3 times, then he doesn't mean what he says. When he says he has a crush on you, he means he's attracted to you. And when a man's attracted to you, he shows you that it's just attraction by ghosting you, by not fighting for your attention, by not investing in you mentally, emotionally, trying to get to know you spiritually. Maybe he's not even in touch with his own spirit. Some people are really simple and they're really basic, and they have a very basic understanding of life. So it could mean he's short-sighted. It could mean he's narrow-minded. It could mean he's too simple for you. But it really most likely just means he really doesn't have a crush on you. What he means by crush is he wants to bang you, and he keeps coming forward just enough to see if he can get something from you. And when he doesn't, he goes away. And hopefully he's not getting anything from you and going away. But whether you're giving it to him or not, he's just kind of poking at you to see what he can get from you. And when he doesn't get anything, then he leaves. So fuck that guy. Within secrets, I was talking to the same guy every day since January up until we saw each other again in March. Now he's distant, and when confronted, he says he's been working long hours at work. Should I move on? Yeah, not necessarily. First of all, there's no betrayal. If you don't have an understanding of a relationship, there's no real betrayal. But when a guy is distant, he's telling you how much how much his interest in you is really important to him. So if he's distant and he's saying he's working long hours, that's cool. But if you haven't had a conversation with him, at least give him the courtesy of a conversation to let him know what you're feeling. But if you've had that conversation and you're still not reaching a resolution, or you're not getting enough from him, the amount you would need to remain satiated in a relationship, then yeah, move on if you're not getting your needs. Thank you, Deanna, for the $5 super chat. She just said, "Hey, Kev." Alexis Sykes, God, y'all on to something. Y'all on something today. She said, "Me and my boyfriend are having some problems. He wants space and seems confused. I love him a lot. We were so close in the beginning. We were dating for 8 months. What should I do? He keeps standing me up." That's problematic. It's problematic because he's not considering your emotions, your feelings, the way what he does affects you. And if you're not feeling considered, then that's also a respect issue. It's definitely going to play into your psyche and your self-esteem. So he'll start to destroy you slowly. He'll start to destroy your self-esteem slowly from the inside out. And nobody should have the right or the access to you to do that. And so if he's not using his access in the right ways to nurture not only your self-esteem, your mental health, but to also support you in those ways, if he's the destroyer of it, then you need to remove access from him, access from yourself, or access of yourself from him, because he's not handling you responsibly, and it would cause more damage than good if you allow that relationship to continue happening with that neglect happening. I hope that helps. I usually don't have to go this fast, but people are on it today. Hey, Kev, you're my big brother in my head. Out of curiosity, where did you meet your wife? MySpace. I met my wife on MySpace. I mean, she lived in the same city, so it wasn't like a long distance thing. But I definitely I seen her profile picture on MySpace, and I was clicking away that evening, and she was my favorite, and she just happened to be the person who actually responded to my long message, and because it was thoughtful. Like I said, you send some thoughtful messages, and sometimes people respond, sometimes they don't. I got lucky; she responded. We talked for maybe 3 weeks before she even actually accepted my number. I tried to get her number a couple times, and she kept telling me she don't give her number out, and so we just kept talking on MySpace. And every week I'd be like, "Yo, can I get your number?" And after about 3 weeks and 3 attempts to get her number, she like, "I bet I'll take yours." And she actually called me at about 5 in the morning, because she's a night owl, so that's pretty normal for her. 3 weeks after I gave her my number, and we had been chatting. So she called me, but it was because I had basically been begging for her number. And so it was still me making the first move and her just kind of allowing me to have access to her. Somebody said, "What's the difference between standards and preferences?" A guy and I hope I haven't missed anybody. It's going really quickly. What's the difference between standards and preferences? Guy I'm seeing has a standard of woman he's seeing has kids, a minimum age of 13. And I don't know what WSID is. I'm shitty with acronyms, really shitty. I don't spend a whole lot of time chatting with people online, so I don't. The acronyms elude me a little bit. I hope somebody. Maybe Pretty Girl can tell me what the acronym is. I think I missed somebody in. Okay, I'm gonna get to you, Tessie's world. I'm gonna get to you. My wife just sent me a thing, but this the difference between standards and preferences. Preferences are the things that we attach to somebody that we would want. Like we want a tall guy or a handsome guy or a guy with 6-figure income, or these things that apply to the resources a person provides, or the skill set they come with, the knowledge, skills, and abilities. Almost like if you were hiring for a job, you want somebody with 2 years experience, a bachelor's degree. Preferences are the things that you prefer a person come with. Standards are directly related to how a person treats you. So anybody can have your preferences and lack your standards, right? There are a lot of rich women who are married to rich men who are not. Who are not receiving the love and care that they want. So while they might have their preferences, they don't have their standards. And 2 or 3 just disappear. Um, Pretty girl, can you send me those ones that disappeared? I don't. I think one of the questions I was trying to answer next would disappear. But that's the difference between standards and preferences. Preferences are usually the things that really don't sustain a relationship, but are nice to have. And standards are the things that you need to be upheld. The dynamics you need to be upheld in your relationship to maintain a healthy relationship. I hope that helps. MJ Cooper. How long does it take to heal from a 4-year relationship that you left and he keeps calling and texting even though he's blocked? And what's the best way to ease the pain? First of all, uh, some people never heal all the way. Second of all, you won't heal if you keep allowing him to call you and text you, even though he's blocked. And I hate that Android allows block Android and iPhone both. If you block somebody, it's because you don't want to hear from them. Instead of letting you get that privacy, what they do is they say, well, call from block number or text from block number, and you can read it. And it's just very unhealthy for people who are trying to cut someone out of their life to be able to read everything that is being said to them by the person who's supposed to be staying out of their life. It's extremely toxic. I don't know why iPhone and Android do it. It just disgusts me. I hope that if you call the cell phone company, they can maybe really block, like a serious block. But until that time, you need to look at changing your phone number or switching phones with a family member for a little bit. Like for you to keep seeing that person's correspondence, even though you're supposed to be trying to get away from them and get them out of your life, it's making it much harder than it has to be, especially if you're looking at those messages. So if you can't get rid of the phone and you can't get a new phone number, then what you need to do is just set a rule that you delete. You delete, delete, delete. Don't look at the message from the block sender. Don't look at the message, the call list from block callers. Just delete, 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 delete. And if you can't do it, have somebody else delete it so you don't look through the content of those messages. The problem is you don't have enough separation, and he won't give you separation. And because every time you look at those messages, he's saying something that pulls at you, it's going to make it very, very difficult to move on. So if you really want to heal, you really want to move on, you either need to drop that phone number or trade a family member phones for a little bit, just so you can, get away from that and let them delete, delete, delete. But you need to remove access to you from that person. So change email addresses or block them on emails. And then figure out how to not see those messages on their phone, or call your phone company and see if you can get like a real block instead of the fake soft block that they allow you to have, which is really stupid. I don't know why they don't understand the word block means don't let this person call me. But I hope that helps. Also, if you want to ease your pain, you need to start a new routine, get some new hobbies, fill your day with things that that need your focus. Get yourself a new passion, something that you can be obsessed about. Obsession is one of the best things for anybody with goals, dreams, or ambitions. So get yourself a new passion, something that draws out of you a lot of energy, but also requires a lot of focus. If you don't have anything else to think about besides the person that you miss, you'll do yourself a great disservice just sitting and soaking, right? Sitting in a dark corner in a dark room, doing nothing but having your nostalgic thoughts about love and lost and things of that nature. So don't do that to yourself. Start a new life, start a new routine, switch things around in your routine and your scheduling so that you don't feel like you're missing them from every routine that they used to participate in. If you did something at 6 o'clock and they used to do it with you, now you feel like you're missing them. So just move things around and shake up your life a little bit. How you doing? Thank you for the $9 super chat, $10 super chat. I'll round up. She said, I'm talking to a guy, but we just met 2 months ago and agreed to taking it slow to get to know each other. My sister says I should keep my options open and talk to other guys too. What do you think? I think if a brother is giving you time to take it slow and get to know each other, and he thinks that you're going to be exclusively getting to know him, I'm not sure if keeping your options open is the best thing if he's under the impression that you are exclusive with each other. I think keeping your options open is a thing that you do with someone who's also keeping their options open. But with that said, if he's not under that same understanding, then you keeping your options open is a little bit. I guess it's a little sloppy. So while I understand that there have probably been a lot of f boys come your way and play you or do some things to you that make you feel like, well, why should I be loyal to a person who I'm getting to know? If you agree to take your time and get to know each other, and he's being patient with you and he's respecting your boundaries and he's showing you the type of care that you would like, there's almost no reason to at least lie to him. Make sure that there's a clear understanding that, hey, we're not exclusive yet, and I'll let you know when we are. Just for full disclosure, whatever you do. But if he thinks y'all exclusive, then you should probably just honor what he believes is happening. If that's in fact what you would want is a relationship with him. Now, if you don't know, if you like him, if you're not sure about what you think about him, then that's a whole nother thing. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody your life or your loyalty if you don't feel them like that. But if you like this brother and you want something to grow from it, treat it like that. Um, Angie L, love and respect. Thank you for the $20 super chat. She said, there's a wonderful man with many characteristics I value, but physical attraction on my part is lacking. Is there a way to overcome this? I find that people become more attractive to you over time. And a lot of times we're not automatically attracted to a person we find ourselves involved in. I know, with I've been in a serious relationship with somebody who I was not attracted to whatsoever. Excuse me, when I first met her, she was not on my radar. I never thought about her. And once I started to get to know her romantically and realized that she had a lot more in common with me, and she had a lot more of the qualities that I love, in time, she actually became the most beautiful woman in the world to me at that point. And so, and she was not particularly like fine. But she was a gorgeous person. And so I know for a fact that a person can grow on you physically and mentally. And you can go from not giving a damn about a person to having butterflies, but it just takes you having a serious look at them instead of just saying, oh, they don't fit my typecast, I'm not into this. I don't know how long you've known that guy. So this may have been something you've attempted. And if you've attempted it, it didn't work, fine. You don't owe anybody anything. But if it's only been a couple of weeks or a month or so, sometimes that's not enough time to realize how much you can love a person because you haven't given them enough time to show you who they are by way of providing you the type of love that they would provide you in a relationship. Just don't screw people you're not sure of. Don't give him the sense that he has a bigger chance at the moment that he does, but figure out what he has to offer. And a lot of times women fall in love with the guy based on how he treats them when they give them a proper chance. Somebody says sent question at 9:54. Oh crap. I need Kelly Clark's question from 9:54. I'll do my best to get to that question. T's World, Kev, ever thought of a podcast? Do have a podcast. The podcast is for guys. It's called the Fatherhood Village. I guess women can listen to it too, but we talk to men about manhood, fatherhood, family responsibilities, man's place in the community, the things that a man is supposed to stand for and uphold in his family and his community, with other guys, to each other, and everything like that. So I do have a podcast like that, but it's just for me. And I have some other podcasts that it kind of started and stopped, and it's just not enough for me to go around. So I'm trying to make sure I speak to women and I speak to men so that I'm serving both purposes. So people can't tell me I'm just talking to women, because that's just that's kind of a cop out. People disregard information if it comes from a guy, sometimes just because they assume that there's no attempt to reach out to men too. And I think that's unfortunate that some people can't take information based on who gives the information, if it's wise information. I hope I'm not missing nobody. So T's World, that's the answer to that. Makita Coleman, Mikita Coleman, that's a pretty name. She said ex of 3 years. He had a 4-year-old and I had a 12-year-old. Am I wrong for not wanting to babysit every time he needed me, since he never tried to have a relationship with my child? No, but if a guy's not committed to your child as well as you, then people might be upset, but I don't think you have no damn business with him. If you're a single parent and you get with a single parent, then the idea, I might have missed a question. It's just y'all coming at me too hard right now, but I appreciate y'all. I think that two single parents joining and mixing a family need to be committed to each other's kids, and I think if there's no attempt or no intent to get to know each other's kids and to build with each other's children, then you're doing a disservice to your relationship and to those children. Those children also need to understand that you are a safe place for them if you're coming into a relationship with someone who has a kid. You don't have to be a parent, but you damn sure have to be an ally or a friend. You have to be an extension of the love that they should be receiving from somebody. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're both doing a disservice to each other. So he's wrong for never attempting to have a relationship with your kid. But those are things that need to be done, intentionally. And it's not an easy process. So the two adults need to be making sure that they plan opportunities and set in place dynamic shifts that allow for those things to happen. I don't think anybody should be mixing children with the in the absence of attempting to get to know those children. So I hope that helps. I'm gonna look up here because I swear one of my super chat questions just disappeared while I was trying to answer it. I'm gonna look wherever I can look. Um, where I don't even see them no more. Okay, YouTube playing. Okay, here we go. Let me see. I don't know if somebody did that or not. Hold on. Any advice for intimidating women? Intimidating women, first of all, thank you, Danielle S. I don't know when you asked this, but intimidating women should probably learn to, if you haven't, watch your mouth. Intimidating women can also can be very intimidating because they can be sharp-tongued. But also sometimes if you're very, very beautiful, and Danielle S is very beautiful, and I don't know, what your stature or what your like your figure and your presence is, but women who are just you're very beautiful and have very intense piercing type of beauty can be very intimidating. It's just best to make more eye contact and smile more if you care. If you care about impressing people or building a friendly vibe around you, you don't owe anybody a smile. But if you want people to see you as less intimidating, you need to look more approachable. Before I got LASIK, I was pretty much blind. And I wouldn't wear my glasses for most of high school. And so most people thought I was angry and mean, and they were very intimidated. And when I realized that people were intimidated, I tried to smile a little bit more so people didn't realize I was squinting. I wasn't frowning, but I looked a lot less approachable. The point being that if you care about how people are seeing you, then sometimes being really, really beautiful is as intimidating as a frown, because most people feel like I have no chance when they look at a person that they feel is more beautiful than most people. They already feel rejected, even though no rejection has actually happened. It's their psycho. I'm sorry. It's their ego and their lack of self-esteem telling them that they're not good enough. Therefore, you would not like them. So you are stuck up, right? Like immediately it goes to their insecurity tells them that you have a problem and it's not them. So obviously there's some issues with insecurity that people might be dealing with that you don't have to placate to. But if you care about people feeling like you're more friendly and less intimidating, then when you see a guy that is interesting to you, make sure you're friendly, make sure you smile, make small talk if you care to. Never ask a man is telling me, "Hey, handsome, what's your number?" or anything like that. But just be a lot more friendly. Treat him like a guy that you wouldn't like at all, or like an unattractive person that you would not be intimidated by otherwise. But you have to show them that you're approachable, you're friendly, and that you're open to their energy. Most beautiful women can make people feel like they're closed off, even if that's not the case. And it's just because most people's insecurities tell them that this person is a 10, I might be a 7 or an 8 or 4 or 5. I don't think that this person's interested in me. And because of that, it's almost like you rejected them when they rejected them. So I guess you can't really beat everybody's insecurities. Most of the people's insecurities will get the best of them, but that's the only way to do it. I hope that helps. Sheila Marie, $10 super chat. Thank you for the $10 super chat. No question, just love. I appreciate you. Let me see. Raja Bash, it's been over 2.5 years and he hasn't said I love you. Should I break up or be concerned? I think that he's just he's stunted emotionally, and I feel like, excuse me, why he probably feels love. I don't think very, unless he's a sociopath, he feels love. Um, uh, I feel like expressing his love is not something he's able to do verbally. I feel like he probably lacks some emotional depth or emotional maturity, or just vulnerability. He's probably damaged in some ways that maybe that you're not sharing, or maybe he hasn't shared. So because of that, I don't think that you should just break up with him because he hasn't said I love you, unless you've had some conversations with him and told him, hey, I need more verbal affirmations, or I need more verbal um, well, I'm drawing a blank, but I need you to say more shit that tells me how important I am, because I need that. That is my love language, right? Verbal affirmations are my love language, and I need you to nurture me in that way. If in fact he can and does do that based on your need of it, then of course you should stay with him. But if that's something you absolutely need, or you feel unstable and it makes you feel insecure and it makes you feel unlovable, and somehow or another you're just not receiving his love any other way. I don't know from your question if he's giving you love in other ways, or if he's making up for the absence of words of affirmation with actions and things of that nature. So I wouldn't tell you to break up with him, because I don't know enough about his conduct, because conduct, it means so much more than words anyway. A person can tell you they love you every day and slap the shit out of you and cheat on you and beat you. So sometimes the words don't mean as much. Well, the words never mean as much as actions. But if his actions aren't showing he loves you and he's refusing to say it, then you have a problem, and it's much bigger than the words "I love you." So leave him if he's not acting like he loves you and not saying he loves you. But if he's acting like he loves you, then maybe he needs to go to counseling so he can get in touch with some of his emotions that he's afraid to share. Welcome to Podcast Family Elevate. Yo, what's up? I appreciate you. Yeah, I had the Elevate podcast a minute ago, and actually, me and Ash Hick did a few episodes of the Elevate podcast, but I think school picked up for her. She didn't have time to do it, or she was so wiped after doing all of her homework that she couldn't do it anymore. But Elevate Podcast will eventually come back, but I'm going to need to get out of my full-time job first. I work 40 hours a week. I'm essential personnel. I have not gotten off since this whole Corona thing. Like, I've been at work every day, and my clients have needed me a lot more because they're at home, they're hanging out, they have a lot more time to think and reflect and grow and elevate themselves. Consequently, they order more consultations and they need a little bit more support than normal because they're not as busy. Because of that, and Sheila Marie, I'm gonna get to you in a minute. And I thank you so much. You've been love since you got in here, and I appreciate you. But like I said, we will start the Elevate podcast again. But I just want to make sure that we got time to do it and do it justice, and so and get more love back too. Like, it's kind of frustrating if you do a podcast and you get like 14 listens, or people don't come over and watch it, but they ask for it. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, the interest for it seemed to be very high amongst the people who listen to an episode, but getting people to just come over and give you that listen is very difficult. And so we ain't got time to do nothing that don't benefit the family. We moving at 100 miles an hour. And so we'll do the Elevate podcast when I have a big enough audience that I know I can make it at least beneficial for my wife, who's given her time. From the very get-go, I don't want her doing stuff for free. I do stuff for free. I make the sacrifices in my household, and I just want her to make sure she's benefiting and she's enjoying herself. With that said, Sheila Marie, if we call a guy out on their communication gaps after 2 months and tells them our wants in a relationship, do men see this as needy or attractive? I think that anytime you're telling a person how you feel, it doesn't matter how they see it. Your emotions are your emotions, your needs are your needs, your feelings are your feelings. We need to stop trying to figure out how to be perfect for someone who's not giving enough to us. And we need to stop trying to figure out how to serve someone before we're in a relationship, before we have a commitment, and in the absence of serving ourselves. You have to be selfish before you start a relationship. Everything has to be about you and your comfort. You cannot be worried about what this person thinks of you and all of these things, because if they're not giving you what you need, then a relationship will not fulfill you anyway. So you have to be selfish. You have to be your own advocate, and that's how you just have to handle things before you get to a relationship. Compromise happens after the relationship, after the commitment, after the investments. But before that, it has to be all about you. Otherwise, you end up with a relationship dynamic that only serves that other person because you've only been worried about their needs and not yours. Um, Simone, I'm not gonna beat your last name up. Dated a guy. Action started to change. My photos hidden on his profile. Uh, so I told him, let's be friends, and I haven't heard from him. Mistake? No. If he wanted to work for your relationship or earn your trust, then he would have did that. It's not a mistake if you require something to somebody and then they don't give you what you require or they don't give you what you ask and then they go away. It just means they did not want to pay the cost of entry or the cost of access, which would have been a little bit more openness, a little bit more honesty, a little bit more loyalty. He didn't have that to give, and so he went away. It wasn't a mistake because somebody went away because they didn't have nothing to offer you. It would have been a mistake if you accepted that. $20 VC, you are amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Kiki Lovely, $10. I'm sorry, I had to go out of order. It was a $5 about to disappear. Is it wrong to still be thinking about somebody you shouldn't? It's been 4 months since I chose myself and my worth over a guy that wanted me to chase him. What can I do to stop thinking about him? First of all, get around some new masculine energy. You'll realize that maybe he wasn't that damn special. Also, like I told the other woman, start doing more stuff, more different stuff. Just keep yourself busy. Get a new obsession. Obsession is your friend. Find yourself a new hobby, find yourself a new goal, and go ahead first. Get so busy trying to conquer something that you don't have time to worry about what that guy's doing. And who cares? Listen, sometimes you just have to let that shit burn. Okay, like I love that song by Usher, and not because I like R&B. I'm not really an R&B guy, but let that shit burn. Sometimes you have to just go through the pain, just feel that shit and move on and continue to grow, continue to evolve. It doesn't matter that you still feel a certain way. What matters is he's not equipped. He didn't have the tools. He's not worth the energy. And so, yes, it hurts, but you have to choose yourself and choose your self-worth like you did. And sometimes that comes at a price of a little bit of pain, but it's not as much pain as being in a loveless relationship with a guy who neglects you and shits on you for years and wastes your good years. So you made the right choice. It's going to hurt either way, but it hurts a lot less for a lot less long this way. Good gracious, y'all are on me today. Let me try to I'm trying to make sure I got everybody. Been applying your advice to many areas of my life since I found your channel a little over a year ago. Many blessings to you, Kev, and thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Alicia's guide. Sweet Amber, waiting on my crush to hit me up. We usually talk for hours by phone, long text messages, but then I don't hear from him for days or weeks. What gives? I always seem to message first. It's a turn off. If you're messaging the guy first and he's not responding to you or he's not contacting you for weeks at a time, it's because he's dating other women and you're a friendly, you're a romantic contact, you're a romantic acquaintance, but you are not the woman he's after. If a guy's not responding, if a guy's not coming to you or trying to get your attention for days and weeks at a time, and that's a normal occurrence for him, and that means he's chasing other women, or he's just busy doing other stuff, but he's not interested in you. He's only interested in the idea or the possibility of probably potentially enjoying whatever resources or sex you have to offer. That's the same reason why people are very friendly to either exes or people they're attracted to, but they never really explore them. A lot of people keep friends of the opposite sex around just in case one day they might end up having sex, like basically. And it's not even malicious. Everything ain't about guys being dirty and guys being evil. Everybody does this. Everybody keeps resources in their back pocket. A lot of girls in relationships, 2 or 3 years, still have a bunch of guys waiting on the bench for their boyfriend to mess up. It's just something that people do. It's a survival instinct. That just happens. But he's not messing with you. Screw him. If he's neglecting you, screw him. Sensible socialite, what's going on? Said, hi, Kev. My experience with other women in friendship hasn't been the best. I find myself being guarded and keeping them at a distance. At the same time, I want to be open to friendship, still guarded. Advice? You can't deal in the future as if it's the past. The past and the future are very different. Sometimes you just have to feel the fear and do it anyway. Sometimes the loneliness that you cause yourself by rejecting friendship from people who would otherwise be very genuine and very good to you is as painful. That loneliness is as painful as if somebody for whatever reason, betrayed your trust. Now, what I would do for you is, or what I would tell you to do is, trust people incrementally. Don't give people, if you want to pull somebody in as a friend, give them tidbits of things that you can trust them with. Don't just trust them with everything at once. Let them be your friend that you party with first and see how great they are at that. Let them be their friend that you talk about like little issues with, like work stuff first. Like you don't have to go full fledged into, okay, we're best friends, girl. Listen, let me tell you about these life problems I got because I've been dying to tell somebody. Do your best to manage what information you divulge until you realize whether or not they're a person who invests in supporting you, invests in being there for you, cares about your issues, or only wants to get their issues served and only wants to vent about their issues. A lot of people want a friend, but they don't know how to be a friend. So you have to do a lot of vetting, even with friendships, about finding the right person. It's all about matching with the right person, and friendships are no different. So you got to trust somebody with little tidbits at a time and grow over time with the things you trust them with. But they have to show that they can be trusted with a little before you give them a lot. Almost like the Bible talks about finances. So if a person can't save $5, you don't give them $1,000 to blow, right? If a person you can't trust a person with the job issues you having or whatever negative information about yourself without them going and gossiping about you, then you cannot trust them with the issues about your boyfriend or your mom's alcoholic past or whatever you've been through. Okay. I'm gonna skip and then I'm gonna go back. JBL TV, is it okay to tell a woman you're dating why not to stay? Is it okay to tell a woman you're dating why not stay dating for life instead of getting married? Do men really think differently than women on this? Okay, depends on who's the receiver of that information. And honestly, um, men and women don't all think differently. Some women don't want to be married either. I've worked with a great many women who had a life partner that lived down the street in a separate house, and they've been together for 25 years. Never even moved in with each other. Like, people get tired. Some people, especially after divorce, don't want no more of it. And so it's just very important. I hope I didn't miss nobody. I feel like I could have missed somebody. Forgive me if I did. I'll go through here. But yeah, you don't want to BYNC dating stories. I did. I'm gonna look for your super chat. But absolutely, people have different opinions on it. But that's for the people who are receiving that information. VC, thank you for that $20 super chat. I love you and appreciate you. Christian Darn, thank you for that $20 super chat. I love you and appreciate you. Miss Perfectly Imperfect, I hope I answered your question. Miss Perfectly Imperfect, just wanted to say thanks, Kev. I appreciate you too. So I'm going to look for BYNC dating stories question because she always show love, and I always want to make sure I give love back. Adriana Johnson, I don't know if I got your question or not. I don't. Ashley's texting me. Oh, here we go. Thank you, pretty girl. She said, skip me on IG. My boyfriend, live-in boyfriend, keeps saying he needs time to himself and creates opportunities to go out on the town alone. What are your thoughts on separation vacation trips? I'm not really a fan of it. If it's not something that's agreed upon, I think that if he's creating those opportunities for himself, that is a little bit inconsiderate, especially if you ain't got nothing to do and he's, somewhere having a great time and he knew you didn't have anything to do either. I understand people need their space, but at some point you're supposed to be a partnership. You're supposed to be a team. And if you don't like a person enough to enjoy yourself or to have your fun with them as well, then it can be a little bit off-putting for the person who is being left out of all of these colorful activities. If he wants to keep going out on the town alone and doing all of these things, it's not necessarily about him having personal space. A person who needs personal space might go do stuff alone, but it's more like a hobby or passion or a thing that they do to sustain. It's like their mental health thing. Like I work out like a lot of times by myself, or maybe I need to go ride bikes, or maybe I need to go do something. But people who need to go club by themselves, people who need to go party by themselves, I don't think that that's the same thing as needing space. And so I think that's a little bit suspect. And I don't. But maybe who am I to say how he has his fun? I'm not a person who likes it, and I wouldn't do it to a woman that I was really interested in or really like in love with. So maybe I don't know what he is. I'm not even going to speculate, but you need to have a conversation with him about why he can't have fun with you as well. At least half the time. I mean, damn, it seems like he's really getting it in and you're sitting at home. I hope that helps. BYNC dating stories, dating for Christian singles, and the dating experience of being a Christian woman dating. Her channel is for those of you who always talk about my cursing. I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing like I'm doing it. I'm me. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna wear my hat, and I'm gonna wear my gold chain, and I'm gonna show up how I show up. But if you want Christian advice with no cussing and all of that stuff that y'all are trying to put on me, and I love God and I love Jesus and all of that stuff, uh, but I'm not the guy to be running around here trying to kiss everybody's ass about not cussing. But she ain't kiss nobody's butt. She really about that Christian life. Y'all need to holler at her. Check her page out. Maria Toria, last time I saw one of your lives, it was 200 views. Now you're at 500 plus. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Wow, this is the most I've ever gotten in a live. So that's great. That's probably why I'm so busy trying to quick, rapid answer these questions. You're just amazing. Keep it up. Stay blessed. I appreciate it. You stay blessed. I'm not going to beat your name up, Richard. I appreciate you. And so sorry I can't pronounce your name. An ex of mine, recent breakup, said he's not ready to commit right now, but wants to work on our friendship with sex. What do I tell him? No sex. If he wants to work on your friendship, let him work on the friendship. There's no reason to add sex to that. Y'all need to learn how to touch yourself. I don't know why everybody thinks that they need a person. 17-year-old boys can get along and live and survive a day without having sex and figuring out that shit for themselves. Adults can't. I don't know why adults act like they have to be inside somebody or on top of somebody or under somebody to live. It's just not that damn serious. No sex. Kelly Clark says some men tell me later that they were interested, but wasn't sure on my vibe. I don't want to chase. How do you tell the difference between a shy guy, and not interested? Just speak to him, be nice to him. If you can get somebody to, damn, that's a lot. If you can get somebody to show you love, or you can show somebody enough love and enough interest in casual conversation and being friends with a person, a shy guy would normally increase his contact with you. Like over time, if you show a shy guy you're welcome, he'll keep coming at you. He'll keep increasing his time with you. If a guy is not interested, he won't increase the time with you. If you end up on the phone with a shy guy, he'll try to make opportunities, even if he won't say, "Hey, I want you." He'll say, he said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" "Okay, cool. And he'll hint around. He wants another call, right? He'll keep trying to figure out how to insert himself into your life. A guy who's not interested doesn't give a damn about increasing his time in your life or increasing his influence. So that's how you tell the difference between a shy guy and a guy who's not interested. A guy who's not interested never comes forward. He never changes it up. He does whatever the hell. But a shy guy is always going to figure out how to shy his way into another opportunity to talk to you. Somebody said, I've been in a third party situation. He is miserable, but won't let go of her. He has asked me, would I still hang out with him once I get a boyfriend? No, don't do that to yourself. Don't play yourself. That makes no sense at all. If you're in a third party situation and everybody has full disclosure, that's one thing. Plural relationships, that's one thing. But being the other woman, sneaking around with a guy, you bring some real shitty karma on yourself. And once you get a boyfriend, if you actually enjoy that brother enough and you actually respect whoever you end up with and you still hopping around with this guy, you are no worse. You are no better a girlfriend than most of these shitty men out here. And I don't think that you got that in you. So I'm asking you, do yourself a favor and get the hell away from this guy, because he has no scruples, morals, or values. And if he does leave that girl and you become his girlfriend, he'll be screwing somebody else and telling them to shut the hell up. So rule number one, if you're a player, only mess with women who got stuff to lose. And he wants you to have something to lose so that you stay in place and he has something to hold over your head. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're doing yourself a very great disservice doing anything with that brother at all. And he ain't that damn miserable, trust me. Otherwise, he would have left her. He just tells you that so you feel like super saver, dude, while you giving him some. Success Bug, love and respect. $100 super chat. Man, I don't know if I might have got one of them before. I think Yaz might have threw me one before, but I appreciate you. It all goes toward the fam. I'm actually trying to save up and buy my family a new house, so I'm gonna put that in the bucket. She said, your videos have helped me set myself free from bad decisions and bad relationships. Thank you. Thank you. You're gonna set me free from this house that I'm growing out of because my sons are getting bigger and they need more space, and this house is just not doing it anymore. So I need more house. So I'm saving up for a new house. So that's you help me just like I'm helping you. All hell Jay. She said, I told a man that I didn't want to jump into a sexual relationship. And my wife is sending me a bunch of these messages that I'm missing. So I'm definitely going to hit these two. Forgive me. All hell Jay said, I told a man I didn't want to jump into a sexual relationship with him. And he implied that no man would get to know a single mom without sex attached to it. Is that true to men? No, it's not true to him. It's true. It's true for him, but it's not true for all men. Listen. I don't think that a guy has to test drive you to figure out if he wants to be with you or not. I don't believe that, and I know men for a fact that don't require that. Now, again, we can argue about how much you like these types of guys. Women always just assume that good guys are ugly. I've been a good guy all my life, and I've always been one of the most handsome guys in the room. I've always been one of the tallest. I've always been one of the best physiques. Always been one of the smartest, and I've still been treated like crap. So, with that said, don't assume that you can't find a nice, good, decent man that will, at least give you room enough to get comfortable with him before he requires sex from you. I think that that's some ridiculous shit. And don't let any guy tells you that no man will anything, because that's what an abusive narcissist says. No man's going to want you. No man's going to this. No man's going to that, because he needs to control you. And if he can control your psyche and your self-esteem, then he got you. So fuck that guy. Don't listen to anything he says because he's just trying to gain control over you. Fuck that guy. And now I'm probably demonetized, so I need all these super chats because I said fuck too many times. But I mean it. Fuck that motherfucker. Anyway, JBL TV. Sorry for the cussing. Like I said, BYNC Dating Stories is Christian. You won't hear any of those horrible words on her channel. Look, LOL, thanks. It was for me. However, I've been married before, and so has he. And he says he would like to as well again. He says he would like to get married again. Another question, how can I overcome thinking a potential partner might walk out? You can't, but guess what? If you deny yourself a potential partner, then you've already experienced the worst case scenario. Loneliness is already the worst case scenario. Being single and not wanting to be is already the worst case scenario. If you're surviving that, you can survive them coming and going. So feel the fear and do it anyway. You're already experiencing the worst case scenario, denying yourself the opportunity. What to say about a guy who hasn't texted in 35 hours? He usually texts every day. He's bipolar, so I'm thinking he needs space. Yes, mental health illness is a whole different beast, and if they're having an episode, you definitely need to be checking on their ass or calling some family members, but they do disappear for longer periods, and it's not about them being disinterested sometimes or being with another woman. They're not interested in life at times, depending on how severe their condition is. So he's bipolar. None of the rules apply to him. Give him space, but get with a family member. Try to check on him. Is it wrong to pursue a man because I always text him first and he responds back fast? You need a different dynamic than pursuing him first. That doesn't make any sense. I hope I answered your question, by the way. But yeah, Cynthia Marie, yes, it's wrong to pursue a man. Yes. And that's because, now listen, there are some really beta men that will treat you well after you pursue them, but then what type of dynamic are you left with? Right? Probably pretty shitty, but they can be decent. I've seen it work before, but that's an exception, not the rule. I hope I didn't just miss nobody. Anyway, so that's the exception, not the rule. You don't want to pursue a guy. You want to at least be met halfway, at the very least. But to be coming toward a guy every time is just ridiculous, and you're not going to get the type of relationship you want, because if you have to come to him now, imagine when you're in a relationship, you got to figure out where your man is, because he's not considerate enough to call you. You got to figure out what to do in this situation because he's not taking the initiative. Those things lend themselves to other forms of neglect, and it's just not a good idea. Somebody said, could you mod me and Vanessa? Problem Child, $2 super chat. I don't know what that means, but it's all good. Alexis Sky said, is it possible men change? Alexis Skies, is it possible men change? Yeah, some guys change. Guys change quite a bit. People grow. It's a human thing. The human condition hopefully requires us to evolve as people. The difference is many people don't choose to evolve because they don't think anything's wrong with them, or they don't want to admit that anything's wrong with them, or they've done wrong to anyone. And so for a person to evolve and change, they have to first admit that they have an issue, and that's the problem for a lot of people. They don't have any introspection skill sets developed. They don't look at themselves and judge themselves as harshly as they judge the world around them. So that's the biggest issue and the biggest challenge for a lot of people. If a person is constantly measuring themselves, or learns to start to measure themselves and judge them as they judge the rest of the world, then they will change, and they can change. But that's not to say that everybody will change, especially a guy who treats you like shit and just wants you back, so he stops screwing around for a little bit. That's not the same thing. He needs to be on a life journey that doesn't involve you or depend on you. He needs to just be trying to be a better person for himself, and then you can add yourself to the improvements that he makes. But no man improves for a person for long. All right, so I have a lot of these I got to reply to. Let me see. I think I got it. Let me see. Uh, Ali White, $3 super chat. No question, love and respect. Thank you. Somebody said, uh, uh, I think I got everybody. I think I got everybody. Deanna said, "Hey Kev, with $5 super chat a while ago. I appreciate that. I was talking to the same guy since January until we saw each other again in March, and now he's distant in front of me. I'm just trying to make sure I got everybody's questions. I don't want to miss nobody. And I know I'm missing a whole lot of people in the comment section, and I'm gonna do my best to get to y'all. Um, this is the most people I had in this thing, so it's pretty competitive tonight. 579. I think that's a new record. Ny Ingram. Okay. Um, This is an easy one, and I answer NY Ingram. Do you have a line I can dial in to ask questions? I don't have a line you can dial in to ask questions, but if you want a phone consultation, I do phone consultations by the hour, and you can order many hours if you want, but I do phone consultations by the hour. You can get those at girltalkwithguys.com under the services tab or services section, and click Talk with Kev Hick. You can see my full schedule, and you can pick a slot and time date that's convenient for you, and you can order a phone consultation. I will call you in the time slot that you order. So girltalkwithguys.com is where you get to me if you want to have a phone conversation about your personal situation, whether it's life advice or dating advice. NY Ingram. Any words on secure, jealous, damaged man that pushes me away, planned a future, says he loves me, but pulled away since his parents divorced. I was hopeful. Well, if he's insecure, damaged, and pushes you away, he's not stable. And you will always be trying to save him during the whole relationship. A man is supposed to present a fair amount of strength to a relationship. He's supposed to be your backing. He's supposed to be your rock. Uh, Again, we talk about gender roles. Gender roles, many of them are ridiculous. I can see that many of them are sexist, and I'm not a supporter of a lot of them. But a man is supposed to be strong, and man is supposed to be, and again, that's not to say he can't cry and he can't have emotions and all that bull crap. It's just to say that he's supposed to have some endurance. He's supposed to have some long suffering about him. He's supposed to be able to stand up, stand up strong when it counts for something. When he's insecure, then he's weakening you because he's accusing you of stuff. He's not trusting you, which in turn damages you. When he's damaged and he's passing that energy back to you, you become damaged. You become insecure. You're not comfortable where you are. You're walking on eggshells. You're thinking something's wrong with you when it's everything wrong with him. And you gonna have your natural issues. You're imperfect anyway, so you just compound your mistrust of you because he mistrusts you. It's very difficult to stay solid, stay strong, and stay stable when you're dealing with somebody that's that unstable or unstable. So I don't think that I really don't have high hopes for this whole relationship thing with jealous, damaged, insecure man that pushes you away. What you need to do is give him space, let that brother grow. He needs to do some maturing, and it ain't nothing that you can do to accelerate that. All you can do is hurt yourself in the process. It's like trying to stop like if he's on fire and you're trying to pat him out with your hands, you're just gonna get burned, right? You can't stop the fire and you can't pat him out with your hands. You're gonna have to let that brother find a lake or something, jump into. Metaphorically speaking, he's gonna have to figure out that he has some issues that he needs to work on, and he needs to make that his life goal, not trying to balance your relationship. So unless that becomes a priority to him, is balancing himself out instead of your relationship, there's almost no way that you can have a healthy relationship with him because he's not a healthy person. And his parents divorcing shouldn't be affecting him like that. Like, he's a grown ass man. That shit happens. They ain't dead. He should be able to figure that shit out without destroying the lives of the people around him. But again, what do I know? I'm just some guy from the internet. I think I got everybody that has super chatted so far. I've never had that many super chats to juggle. That I've been talking for an hour and 3 minutes, and an hour of it has been super chat. So I really appreciate y'all. Y'all helping me buy a new house. It's like a telethon in here. But let me try to get some of these people who ain't pay nothing, because it's not a paid service. It's just me showing love, and y'all giving love back, and I appreciate that. Everybody who's super chatting, I really appreciate that. Somebody said, I really feel good about myself. Priscilla Alexander said, I really feel good about myself, and I set a standard that I want a reliable man to honor his word, that honors his word, and he stopped talking to me, and I don't care. I love me too much to get set up. Absolutely. You always have to put yourself first. Again, you don't owe anybody anything or any loyalty until you have an understanding of what y'all are. And a lot of women, they give loyalty, they give love, they give sex, they give money, they give resources just to get to the point to where one day they can ask the question, so where are we? And by that time, he's like, I don't want a relationship. So you've done all of this stuff and given him all of this access to you for no reason. Again, learn to touch yourselves. Stop just jumping into bed with these brothers and treating the booty like some kind of record deal advance or some kind of advance payment for a relationship. It's not a promise ring. There should be some sanctity applied to your sex. And when a guy knows that there's no sanctity applied to it, then he'll just finesse you out of it. And then you'll feel played if you're not one of those women who are very casual mentally about sex. If you have a very casual idea about sex, that's cool. I'm glad that you can stay mentally stable and healthy and obviously have a lot of casual relationships like that. But even so, for you, I always say, and I've been pushing this a lot, y'all need to be tested out here. Y'all need to know y'all status. I'm having too many conversations with people who just got HIV, who just got herpes, who just got this thing or that thing sexually, and some of that shit they can't get rid of, and then they calling me like, listen, am I ever going to find love again? I didn't know he had that. He didn't know he had that. He called me and said he just got tested and he had it, and I got tested and I got it, and he got it from so and so. And you can't keep track of who you had sex with, who they had sex with, and who they had sex with. If it was a family tree, it'd probably be 400, 500, 600 people on a tree after you looked at who you had sex with and who they had sex with. It's an insane amount of people. It's 6 degrees of separation, and everybody's connected when you start looking at a person's sexual history. So y'all really need to start paying attention. Y'all really need to start being aware of people's sexual status before y'all get into bed with them. Stop doing that shit. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Only sleep with people you know, or you know their status. All these people who having sex, I know people having sex with multiple women a day, multiple women a week, and then those women around here not knowing their status and sleeping with other people. Even if you only sleep with somebody once a month, you in trouble if you sleeping with a bunch of guys who sleeping with multiple women a week. You don't know, and you don't have to be that loose for you to get something. Y'all check out. I don't even have a pretty girl. Can you put the link in the description? Y'all need to get tested. If you are hot out here, if you enjoying yourself, if you exploring yourself sexually, do your thing, but do it safely. Do it damn safely. It's not worth out here calling me talking about I got HIV and I don't know what to do now. Please go get checked. Go get checked at your local clinics. Go get checked at the doctor's office. Or if you don't want to get checked by a stranger and you think it's awkward, please click the link in the description of most of my videos now. The last 5 or 6 videos have it in the description. Order your own home STI kit. There are real doctors and real nurses delivering real results. It's not no bullshit. It's a real lab. They have the highest accreditation possible, and they can tell you for certain whether or not you have this disease or that disease. And they'll give you a phone consultation to go over your results. And in some cases, they can even provide a prescription for you if you need one because you caught something minor. So y'all just check out the link if you need it. And if you know somebody who needs it, send that link to their ass. Coupon code KEV20 gets you 20% off if it matters to you. LT, $10. I appreciate you. She said, I was dating a guy that found out I was married, broke it off, and started popping up over my house. Last time his wife popped up with him, despite that he still calls me anonymously. How do I get rid of him? You really can't get rid of him unless you just cut off contact. But if he's popping up at your house and you just got yourself a friend that you can't get rid of, unless your husband handles it, that sounds like man business. But I'm not sure why you was married dealing with that brother in the first place, unless you and your husband was on the fritz. But even so, even if you were separated from your husband and your husband was cool and y'all was both seeing other people, and now this brother's coming back and he's encroaching upon your personal space and he's making you feel unsafe, that's man business at this point. I don't care if y'all was separated or whatever. It ain't even about the marriage at this point. Your husband still has a duty to protect his home. And so if you and your husband have come to an agreement that this is what happened and we're going to continue moving forward, if this brother don't accept that that's happening, your husband need to figure that shit out. That's man business right there. Ain't nobody better be coming over here, first of all, ever threatening my woman or threatening my wife. Like, I'm not even gonna get into the carnage that I would cause if somebody presented themselves as a threat, but I can tell you that that's man business right now. You need to pass that to your husband. Can a guy go from uninterested to genuinely interested if he ghosted you? I know. Don't wait on him. I think that it's possible, but again, it would be the exception, not the rule. In general, if a person's not interested and they ghosted you, it's because they have got enough from you that they made the decision that you don't have a place in their life. If somehow or another, promo KF20 gets you 20% off. I think I said that pretty good. I might have read an old text message. Anyway, um, a guy can go from uninterested to genuinely interested if again he's on a journey. He's trying to make sure he attracts the right type of energy. That happens. But for the most part, if just don't wait on a guy, do your own thing. And if a guy comes back to you and he's making a genuine amends for his ghosting you and his disrespect of you, then maybe if he's really coming to you and he's showing that he has some remorse for how he handled things, and it's real remorse, not I'm sorry, you know how that go, but it's real remorse, and he's vowing to try to figure out how to prove himself to you, and then you make him prove himself to you over time, build consistency, you give him nothing, no sex, no nothing, no validation, no anything, make him do that shit for a couple of months so you know he's there to stay, then maybe. But I'm not one who actually likes to pull ghosts back into my life or tell women to do the same, because most of the time a person ghosts you because they felt your energy, they've smelled you, they've been around you, and it just didn't do it for them. And so you can get bored and call somebody back because you would much rather have a shitty date or a weak date than no date. But it still should be pretty insulting when somebody calls you back after abandoning you out of thin air like that. I feel disrespected when that shit happens, and so I don't deal with people on that level no more. So no, don't wait on him. But yes, it can happen because anything is possible, but it's unlikely. Sensible socialite, love and respect. Donations toward the house. Yay! I support your cause and love and respect what you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to buy a house, man. I want to buy another house. I own a house now, but I bought this house with one child, and we didn't know we was gonna have two children. And then, as kids get bigger, I'm 6'2.5", so my sons are probably end up pretty giant. And my dad's 6'6", so I don't know if they might end up bigger than me. It's gonna be too little house for two big ass grown ass kids that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. I don't need to be squished in shoulder to shoulder with two giant ass boys. So I'm trying to get me a new house, and I'm definitely putting that money toward the house. I do appreciate you. I don't want to leave my primary job until I buy a new house, because my primary job is I got a good enough job. So I want to make sure I can afford my new house. See towards a new house. Look at this. Look at this, a telethon. I appreciate y'all. She said, see towards a new house. Just wanted to bless your family. I appreciate you, Ali White. Thank you so much. I'm going to dig into these other questions. I'm gonna go from the bottom. Somebody said, the comment section is jumping around. Sorry. Somebody said, how do you donate? You can donate by clicking the $ as a super chat, Jessica Ayan, or you can go to my website, girltalkwithguys.com, and click donate or manual pay, and it's just a PayPal. You can put what you want on there. I appreciate that. Somebody said, I'm trying to, somebody said, tall and attractive. Your wife is a lucky lady. I think she is, but I'm equally as lucky. Can I add on, can an on and off relationship become a stable relationship? I don't think that's likely. For clarification, LT said, I'm not married, he's married. Okay, so if you're not married, he's married, and him and his wife are bothering you, then you need to figure out how to get a restraining order on both of them. Damn, I just forgot the question. I just asked the question and I forgot it. So my bad. It's a lot going on. So sorry, LT. Sorry for the misunderstanding. She's not married, and her husband is not man business, because she's not married. He's married. So you just need to get a restraining order filed on them because they're doing too much. Does age difference really matter? Sometimes it does. My comment section is like zipping, so I'm trying to get to y'all before it moves. Does age difference really matter? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how big that age gap is and whether or not it's the man or the woman on the bottom side of that. Young women will stay with an old man until he drops dead sometimes. For some reason or another, they're much more patient about age, and just much less caring. They love a little deeper sometimes than young men. Young men cannot necessarily be trusted to love as deeply and as and as loyally as young women. Hell, you think about it, young men are cheating on young women that look like Victoria's Secret models or Big Booty King magazine models, whichever you're into, or whichever the guys are into. Y'all not, I don't know who gives a damn. The point is this: you can be the finest woman in the world to a guy who's into your exact type of beauty, and if he's not a loyal guy, he's gonna cheat. If he's not a loyal guy, he's gonna cheat. All men don't cheat, but the ones who aren't loyal cheat. Therefore, the strength of your relationship depends very heavily on the character and the integrity and the intent of the person that you're with. If you are a woman who likes to date younger men, if you go too young, you could be doing yourself a disservice, because young men can have wandering eyes, to say the least. But young men, old men have wandering eyes too. But old men have given up the ghost and don't think they have it and have the access to it. Young men are still attracting a lot of young women and attracting older women. And you're just competing with the whole world with a nice young man that looks good, has it all together. And so he has a lot more temptation sometimes than those older guys, unless the older guy has a lot of money. And then the older guy becomes a beautiful woman if he has a lot of money. So it just depends on who is older and how big that age gap is. If you're talking about 7 or 8 years, not so much. But a lot of the women I talk to are dating men that are 15, 20 years younger than them. It takes an extremely mature guy who has no desire to sow his wild oats for those relationships to work. I've known people who got married with a guy who was 20 years younger, but that is, again, is the exception. Thank you, pretty girl. That again is the exception and not the rule. If this is going to be a video, I'm going to do a video. One of my next videos is actually on this subject, so I'm just going to shut the hell up. And I'm going to give y'all the video. Y'all know I've been doing a lot of content over the last couple of days, or over the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to experiment with daily content or bi-daily content, and it's been actually working out. And so I'm going to try to keep this up because I don't have to spend as much time writing my videos out or sitting with my thoughts like I used to. I'm learning to just trust whatever gifts I have. And it seems to be paying off, and y'all still getting value and quality content, which was my fear, is that if I didn't sit down with my thoughts, if I didn't do all of the planning around the video, that maybe they don't come out as good. And while I might not say everything that I want to say or think or believe while I'm just rambling about a topic, it just leaves room for me to attack that issue again later, which is good for YouTube recyclability. But also, I think that I'm still giving you enough valuable information off the top of my head that I don't need to go back to the old way of doing it, which is like one video a week or one video bi-weekly, just because I'm so busy with work, fatherhood, trying to run a business, doing consultations and all of those things. So I really appreciate everybody who's just been supporting and waiting for content as long as they have. Anyway, Vanessa Harris says, please learn to touch yourself or get Tracy's dog online because HIV is real. Just keeping it real, ladies. I don't know what a Tracy's dog is, but y'all might want to Google it. She says, "Hope I'm not being unladylike here." No, I think everybody around here has heard from some guy who wanted some behind from them that, hey, we both adults, right? We all adults. We adults, right? We grown. That's usually what somebody says when they're trying to convince you to go against your own standards. We grown, as if it's expected. It's expected because you're adults. You're over 21 or over 18 that you should just be having sex with a stranger. But yes. We are grown, Miss Harris, and I think that people need to really get in touch with themselves over having unprotected sex with strangers or even protected sex with strangers. Some of those things are skin to skin contact, so it's not even like you have to have unprotected sex with somebody to get something from them. Sometimes it's skin to skin contact, and everybody don't wear protection when they're doing the things with the mouth that I don't want to say, because YouTube is definitely going to demonetize me if I say the O word. Take your sexual health seriously. Don't do that to yourself. I'm having way too many consultations with people who are like, listen, I just got HIV and I don't know what the fuck is going on with my life. Some people be suicidal. It's not worth the trouble. It's not worth trying to impress no little boy, no little man, no immature dude who thinks he's entitled because he bought you a damn burger and some fries or a $25 plate at a damn steakhouse. It's not worth the trouble. Know your partner, know their status, and make sure they know their status. Don't put yourself in that position. How do you express your needs in a healthy way, especially financially, to a man you're dating? Through great conversation. The problem is a lot of people are skipping the great conversation part. So many people are trying to have text message only relationships or text their way to in-person dates. And when you do that, you don't learn how to talk to people. You don't get half the chance of the emotional intimacy and the intellectual intimacy when you're just texting your way, because it takes too long to say the things that really, really matter. So you consequently just get into the pleasantries and the exciting pieces of it, because a text message conversation goes dry very soon. Uh, when you only text and then you have dates, even if you're having great conversations on the dates, it makes you feel like you're more familiar with people if you're just rushing to the dates. Consequently, people have a lot more sex a lot earlier when they're just text messaging themselves into dates, because again, they feel more familiar with each other, even though they're not, because they haven't explored each other's mind or character or spirit or anything like that. But uh, generally, when it gets really late and it's almost time to go, is when people normally start making out, and it gets hot and heavy, and then the date's not over. Now you're inside of each other, you're having sex or something, and instead of having a long conversation, you might have talked for an hour and then you started making out, or you might have talked for 30 minutes and then you started making out. And so you really skip so much of what builds that. I don't even remember what the damn question was. Oh, healthy needs. You skip so much of the things that are required to start building that relationship of transparency and openness, because you're so busy enjoying each other in person, which becomes a physical activity. Please, 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 please make these people use the phone. Use the phone. Talk to each other. FaceTime each other. Have great conversations. Get into the depth of who you are with each other. Build that intimacy, build that vulnerability into your relationship. You can say anything in the world if you learn how to talk to your partner, but if you don't learn how to talk to your partner and all you're doing is texting and trying to have a great time when you're with them, you end up on your back, on your knees, or in some other position, whichever one of your choosing, more often than not, or on the couch just making out, going to first, second base if you ain't into that stuff. I'm not assuming everybody is. The point is this. You've skipped most of the great parts of building a relationship, and then people wonder why they break up with each other, or they don't have the basis that most people would hope to have emotionally, and spiritually. It's because you didn't spend the time getting to know each other, connecting with each other, and having those aha moments that people have when you realize, man, we are the same. We had the same background. Man, your childhood was rough too. How was yours rough? Right? You don't even give a guy a chance to get curious about, what makes you you, or damn, I got this weakness that I always do this when I get a little bit anxious, and I think it's brought on by this childhood experience. You don't have deep conversations like that when you text message, girl, you looking good, what you got on? Send me a picture. And then you get a picture, one you didn't ask for, and he didn't put lotion on it or nothing. Like, it's not worth it. Please don't ruin your relationships trying to text yourself into love. That is just not a thing that happens. You have to learn how to talk to your partner. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, if you live with your partner, you have to have conversations. Learn to have conversations before you get to that point. It's asinine. It's ridiculous. It's idiocy to do it otherwise, to do it any other way. It's just idiocy. Don't be an idiot. Stephanie B, love and respect. Thank you for the $14.99 super chat. $15, I round up. She said, damn, boy, I'm popular now. I've never had this many people on for this long. Thank you all 554 y'all who are with me right now as I sip this lemonade and my voice go dry. Anyway, Stephanie B says, what advice do you have for women who are mothers as it relates to dating? I find men are often uninterested in moms. I'm highly educated, highly successful, work out daily, and attract men easily. The problem is this. You don't have a problem. Outside of, you require more responsibility, and you require more character, you require more integrity, you require more intent to love, right? All the things most women require. The difference is that you have a smaller dating pool to choose from, because as small as people assume the dating pool is, with good men, ones that I just described, basically, there are less good men who have the finances to support a family. Right. So now you're dealing with a good man. You can find a good man who can support you and one kid, or something like that. But if you have multiple kids, now you need a good man who also has a six-figure job, or something like that, and is willing to give of his resources. So financially it can be a lot, and energetically it can be a lot. And there are more personalities for that brother to either click with or not click with. And so you're dealing in a smaller dating pool, but you're still looking at the same type of men. And so while women are having trouble finding those guys. A lot of times it's user error. They're beautiful, they have all the things in place, but they just don't necessarily know how to either get or keep a man, or they're attracting and spending too much time with the wrong guys, not adequately enough investigating the right types of men, or needing, whatever other vanity that they attach to a man's value. You're just dealing in a smaller dating pool, but never believe that no one's out there for you. My mama had multiple kids, and my mama always had a boyfriend. And she wasn't whoring or nothing like that, but she was always in a long-term relationship. It was me and my brother, and then my other brothers was older and more violent and would beat the hell out of any one of my mama's boyfriends. And so they were always under the threat of violence. And they had two big ass kids in the house that was like, "What you doing with my mama? What you doing with my mama?" So I know that for a fact that single women with kids, multiple kids, or grown ass sons can definitely have men, show genuine interest in not only them but their children. But like I said, that happens fewer and far between. So what I would suggest you do is, at some point, um, never lower your standards for what you require, but the things that you prefer need to be more negotiable, just because you're dealing in a smaller dating pool. And I'm not telling you to lower your standards. Again, your standards are in relation to how a man treats you, but your preferences are the things that you don't necessarily need. And again, you're picking for multiple people. You're not just picking for you. So you need to have a man who has the mental and the intellectual acuity to deal with your children, and the emotional maturity to deal with your daughter or something like that. Like you're picking for all of you. So your preferences have to involve everyone's needs. And so you have to sacrifice a little bit of what you would hope at times, just because y'all all are going to be with this guy if it becomes something, right? And so I think single mothers, unfortunately, and fathers don't deal with this. And I think it's unfair, but it's life. Single mothers have to consider everybody in the household when they pick a guy. And so they're not picking a guy for them, they're picking a guy for their family. And so it just makes it so much harder. And then you're picking a guy from a smaller, decent pool of men. So just be very careful. Maybe I should do another single mother's video just about how to pick a guy as a single mom, because I did a single mom's video, but I didn't touch on that. So somebody email me on IG, single moms. If y'all email me on IG, I remember it, and maybe my wife remind me, but I do a video on that because I think it's necessary. Cynthia Marie says, when a guy says he's not looking for anything super serious, because he's moving out of state, so that means he's just not interested in me? No, when a guy, when he moves out of state, yeah, he doesn't want a long-term relationship, or he doesn't want a long-distance relationship, and he definitely doesn't want you badly enough, or want you intensely enough, that he wants to deal with the long-distance relationship issues for you. He's saying he doesn't want to be responsible to you in that way. But also, when a guy says he's not looking for something super serious, he uses that word super because he wants to separate the idea that he's not interested in exchanging some kind of emotional value, and most of the time physical value, which means a guy be your cuddy buddy, he'll be your special friend, but he won't commit to you. And that's the difference between serious and super serious. Like if he said, I don't want anything super serious, he's basically saying, I don't want a commitment, but I'm down to trade emotions with you while I'm here when you're convenient. And again, that's not necessarily malicious. That's just where he is. He doesn't have that for you. And so for you, never deal with a man who sees you that casually. It's counterintuitive. It doesn't do you any favors. And if you, in fact, do that, you'll ultimately feel much more deeply about that brother than he feels about you. And then you ultimately start to feel played. So don't even go that route. If a guy says he don't want nothing super serious, if a guy says he's just trying to chill, if a guy says he's just trying to catch a vibe, or whatever the hell terminology and verbiage these guys are using, because they're all over the country and everybody says it differently, it's still bullshit. They still want sex, but they want the loyalty and the emotional attention of a woman. Women don't understand how ultimately, many women do, but some women don't understand how valuable the emotional attention of a woman is. You don't even have to outside of sex is always valuable. Everybody already understands that. But just knowing a woman cares for you, knowing a woman is thinking about you, strokes the ego of a man like the smoothest, softest hands. Like it is just, it's amazing to feel wanted, to feel desired. And just as women want to feel wanted and desired, men get a kick out of it too. And so sometimes they'll use a woman for that, just so they feel validated. So when they go chase the girls they want, they feel more like, they feel more or valid, more valid, and more ready for those challenges. So don't be a guy's ego stroker, or I know it'd be looking funny. Ooh, yeah, that's a funny name. My ex is trying to get back with me, but is using family members to convince me. Manipulation. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to date him for many reasons, especially because he won't ask me himself as a man correctly. Is that mean? Nope. No, it's not mean. I think that he clearly is avoiding the responsibility of making things right. With whatever got him to be your ex, he's avoiding responsibility, but trying to convince everybody else to convince you instead of just being responsible, dealing with the repercussions of his actions and doing it the slow way. He's trying to skip all of the necessary steps by trying to create allies amongst you. And people do that a lot. They get to the people around you so that it can be suggested that you take them back, because they know that's very powerful. The power of suggestion, is real, and is heavy. But I don't think that that's mean that you're not taking him back, because he's not really being a man about whatever he did to piss you off the first time. I hope that helps. Faith Vap. Before our 3-year dating anniversary, I found out he lied. He has 6 kids instead of the one he told me about. What are your thoughts about this? The kids are all grown. I will get the hell away from that guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck if they grown. If they grown, then why is he so ashamed of his kids? Why? Because he was irresponsible with his penis at one point. If he's irresponsible with his penis in the history, then now he's irresponsible with the truth. Now, it doesn't show me that he's grown very much. It tells me that not only has he done things that he's ashamed of, but he continues to do those things. I think a man who has evolved from the folly of his youth is going to show that change and that maturity through the decisions and through the actions that he displays now. If his kids are grown, so let's say his youngest kid is 19, right? Cool. His youngest kid is grown. Why is he still so ashamed of a 19-year-old that he's lying about their existence? That doesn't make any sense unless he's still up to shit that he's not proud of. I'm a very honest person, and again, I've told white lies. Like, I laugh at dumbass jokes that I don't think are funny, because I get tired of telling people, "Oh, you must have been there. You must have been there." Like we all white lie to people every day, but I try to keep the things that matter very honest. I say all that to say, there was no real reason for him to lie about that, especially if he had come to terms with his actions as a young person and decided that he wanted to be a different man. The problem is he's not quite there yet, and I'm not sure if I would want to be bothered with a guy who would lie about some certain stuff like that. Because if you start how you finish, and you started with a dishonest man, you're probably going to be disappointed in the other things that you find out about him. Whether or not that's where he was last night, or that he has a 7th kid he just didn't want to say about because he don't talk to that kid. I'd also wonder about how those other babies' mothers feel about the father he's become, because yes, he has 6 kids, but no man who has loved his kids, no man who has truly loved his kids and committed to his kids would ever lie about their existence, would never deny my sons. Oh my God. I would rather drop dead than abandon my boys or deny them. That doesn't even make sense. So a man who can deny his kids probably wasn't involved in their life. And if you're dating a guy who abandoned his kids, you deserve what you get from him, because they shouldn't be getting no ass from nobody. That's the problem. Too many of these guys don't have anything to offer anybody, and they didn't offer anything to their own seeds, and then women are offering themselves up to these guys. I don't think a man who's abandoned his responsibility should be getting asked from nobody, to be quite honest. So that is a question I would have to ask, is why why was he ashamed, and what's the relationship like with those kids? If he wasn't a present father, if he wasn't a supportive father, then you need to move on anyway, because he's a man who neglects his responsibilities. Sheila Marie. Why don't guys just say let's be friends instead of saying they're busy and ghosting? Sorry, y'all, still recovering from the ghosting. Um, Most people are conflict avoidant. That's not a guy thing. That's a people thing. 90% of the times when a woman was not interested in me, or a girl when I was younger wasn't interested in me, she didn't say, "Hey, I'm sorry, Kevin, I'm not interested. Just not my type." What she did was just disappear. She just stopped answering the phone, stopped answering the text messages, or stand me up. She did something like that, and I just never heard from her again. Now the thing is, I'm not one who needs too much of a hint. If anybody ever not contacts me 2 times, like if I call you, I had a rule when I was younger. If I called you twice and you didn't respond, I was never calling you again. You was never going to hear from me anyway. So I wasn't going to do that thing where I was just going to keep calling you and trying to figure out what happened. And so it didn't take a whole lot for me to just cut somebody off, because I'm not a person who had to deal with that. Why I couldn't get the girl I wanted sometimes, I never had a problem getting a date. That was never my issue. You just chase the person that doesn't want you. People want what they can't have, a lot of times. But I got out of that too. The point is, most guys don't say it. Most women don't say it. Most people won't give you the courtesy of the truth, or the honesty of it all. They'll just disappear because it's not a difficult conversation. They write a bunch of books about having crucial conversations, or difficult conversations, for a reason. The crucial conversations and difficult conversation skill is in most books about leadership, because it's the hardest thing to do. It takes the most courage to have a conversation with someone that is not going to be happy about the conversation. It takes a great deal of courage to confront your fear of conflict. Most people just won't, because first of all, you're not important enough for them to be that uncomfortable, and they just are conflict avoidant. They're kind of cowardly in the way they handle it. And again, it's human nature. So I don't even like calling them cowards, because it's just what people do. People have been ghosting for a while. Internet age calls it that, but we've been being abandoned and left for dead from people since the beginning of time. So it happens. It's not a guy thing. It's a people thing. It's a human thing. And it still sucks, and it does some psychological damage. Studies have shown that, but it's not a guy thing. Everybody does it. I've been ghosted, I don't know, 20 something times, maybe 24, 25 times. Easy. Reese Richards. I'm sorry, I'm smacking this lemonade at the bottom. Damn, we didn't have no lemonade. What if she made this shit? Maybe it's simply, I don't know. Anyway, Reese Richards. Ghoster returned after a month, came to my job and talked like he never left. He invited me to the spa. What's his idea? How do I get rid of him? Just don't respond to him. He played with you. I get it. He could have been doing anything. And again, nobody owes anybody anything, but I think ghosting is one of those things that is just so insulting that you just don't want to deal with somebody after that. And listen, I've ghosted people before too, because that was how people was dealing with me. It's culture. Once people start doing it in a dating ecosystem, then it becomes the culture of that dating ecosystem. So that's how everybody stopped dating people when I was around them. But if you don't want to deal with him, and you don't want to give him a chance, that's fine. That's perfect. Don't. But just stop responding to him and tell him not to come back to your damn job. Um, Tell him he has no chance if he ever shows up at your job, because it's awkward, it's intrusive, and it doesn't make you feel safe. Um, but yeah, just don't respond to him if you can keep him away from your job. If he keeps coming up to your job, you got a whole different type of problem, and you need to be seeking some protective measures, because I don't know why a man would be showing up at your damn job like that. That's a little rude, unless you work at the mall or somewhere where he would be naturally. If you work at a factory and he's showing up, somebody need to call the police. But if you work at a mall or a store that he would be at every day or frequent, then you just out of luck. Your job's too public. I hope that helps. But yeah, just stop responding to him. Go completely blank. Ghost him like he ghosted you. Screw him. Raja Bash, love and respect. My son's father recently got married and kept it from me along with her pregnancy. Should I ask to have a conversation with her, since he's not paying child support and hasn't given financially since our son was 4? I think that damn. It depends. First of all, I think yes, but only if he's in your son's life. If he's not in your son's life, he doesn't have visitation or anything like that, then no, that's a L. You've been taking it, I guess, go on. But if he's in your son's life and she's going to be in your son's life as a result, nah, you need to have a conversation with her. And to be quite honest, I always think the step parent should be the one reaching out, like, listen, I'm gonna be around your son. I want you to understand that I have respect for you. I'm not going to do or say nothing to your son that you wouldn't have me do or say. Like, you need to really do a parent pass off if you're a new parent coming into a situation with other involved parents. That's just respect. Now, if there's an absentee parent, nobody owes anybody anything coming into a relationship and having new stepkids or whatever. But if she's mature enough or is getting wise enough counsel, she'll come to you and say, listen, I'm going to be around your son. I'm pregnant. I'm with him now. I don't know what happened with y'all, but I can't help that. I can be with your son, when he's around now, and I can respect you with the way I handle him, and that's the best you can. That's the best you can have. To hope that she is on your side for receiving child support, you better just go to the court system, because now you affecting her money if you get child support. Now her kid get a little bit less, and she's going to be competitive about that. So she's not going to help you get any of that. But if you need financial support, you need to have been going to the courts. I don't know why you wouldn't have went to the courts, because no woman that is going to let you or help you get anything out of her pockets, because he's supposed to be supporting her kid at this point, and yours still, obviously. But she's not going to be like, oh, yeah, we don't need that extra $300 or however much he would pay in child support. So just go to the court system, get your paperwork done. Stop trying to be a cool baby mama. The hell with that. If a brother is not doing what he's supposed to do, go get your money. That child needs something. Y'all broke. Y'all eating cheese sandwiches and shit, and he out here doing what he want to do. Like, that ain't cool. So let that brother talk to the court system. But y'all still need to have a conversation, because she's gonna be around your son if he has visitation. Success bug. Love and respect. Thank you for the super chat. Somebody said, I tend to attract two kinds of men. That says, I'm what they need, not what they usually attracted to. Or two, I'm married, say I have qualities they wish their girlfriend had. Why? I don't flirt, and I find out they give their girl. I find out they have a girl after the first few dates. Sounds like you're not having a whole lot of conversations with them. You're not requiring enough consistent conversations with these guys before you go out with them. Because most of the time, if a guy has a woman, she's around at night, and you can't be around at night. There's definitely there's always going to be some issue about who you're on the phone with, and so you haven't created enough of those moments because you're probably not requiring enough conversations and enough long talks. I don't know why guys say you're what they need, not necessarily what they're attracted to. You might have a very unique type of beauty. And of course, a guy's going to say you have qualities they wish their girlfriend had, because anything is different than your girlfriend is going to seem like a desirable quality, especially if your girlfriend's getting on your nerves. If your girlfriend's funny and laughy and jokey, and you get tired of laughing at jokes that you don't think are funny, and you get a girl that's serious, you're going to be like, oh man, this boring ass girl I wish my girlfriend was like this. Just because it's opposite of what you experience. People always want what they don't have, what they can't have, or what seems different. If a guy's dating light-skinned girls and dark-skinned girl walk by with a big ass, she's the most beautiful woman in the world at that moment if he's horny. If a guy's dating dark-skinned girls and a light-skinned girl walk by, and oh my God, look at her. It just, whatever you don't have and experience at the time is the thing that becomes the object of your affection in general, if you're a person who likes variety. So I hope that helps. But I don't know why they say those things. It just spend more time talking to people, and have longer talks at night when it would be otherwise inappropriate for a guy to be on the phone with you. Put him in those types of awkward positions before you go out on 3 or 4 dates with him. Hopefully you can create a scenario where he reveals that he's not available during those times where he would otherwise be available if he was single. I hope that makes sense to you. Larita Chantel. Damn, boy. Larita Chantel, thank you for the $10 super chat. She said, so piggybacking on what you said and mostly texting over talking, I started off talking and FaceTiming every day, now texting every day. Says he's my man and not going anywhere, confused on what to do. Shit, I can't remember the last question you had the question. Well, maybe this is a new question. I don't know if I answered half of your question at the beginning, so I'm going to answer this as a single question, because I don't know who I've talked to actually. But she said, says he's my man, not going anywhere, confused on what to do. I suppose if you feel like he is acting like a man who loves you or cares about you or who wants more from you, continue moving forward, but don't call him your man until you're ready. Don't let anybody insert themselves into your plan. If they're in your plan, respect that and acknowledge that if it's what you want. But if you don't trust a guy yet and you need more time to figure that out, then you have to say that. You have to really represent yourself and what you really want. You don't owe anybody anything. So if you trust that brother, if you feel safe with that brother, and that's what you want, you know, I suppose you can move forward. But it doesn't sound like you're completely sure about what you want from him, or if you trust that he'll give it to you. So that tells me that you might need a little bit more time or a little bit more consistency. Because he started off talking to you and FaceTiming, and now he's just texting. If he's just texting, you need to tell him that texting ain't enough. That you're not a pen pal. If you're gonna be his woman, then you need to hear his voice. And that's the problem. A lot of people think they're in relationships where they just have pen pals. And y'all remember that in the '90s, where if you went to school in the '90s, part of our acclimation to the internet was emailing a pen pal across the country. And that's how they try to get us acclimated to the internet. We're like, yeah, you got a pen pal. And that was a lot of school projects. They would email different kids from other schools across the country. And you're not pen pals anymore. Writing letters to people across the country or emailing. If he's just texting you every day and you're not seeing his face, he's not investing that same time and energy, then he's just giving you lip service to make up for the fact that he's not around anymore. So don't let yourself be played and be swayed with words. Actions speak louder than words, and he needs to understand that you know that and you realize that. So you confused on what to do. Call him out on his bullshit that his actions and his words are not matching up. And in order for you to feel like his woman and accept that invitation, he needs to be acting like he's talking, because right now he's just talking. I look like that dude from Insecure, as he always, I don't know. We like to watch Insecure, and the dude on there always say something super stupid and then sip. I don't know if they wrote that into the script, but it's funny as hell. Somebody says, London says, what does it mean if a man says it's clear to him that you're not leaving the relationship, but at the same breath says you should move on and find someone to treat you better? That means he's not treating you well. He's most likely talking to other women and cheating on you. And when a man says, I don't deserve you, or you should find somebody that treats you better, he's saying he doesn't want the relationship. He's already stepping out on you, or he's already moving on. And he wants you to leave him because he doesn't want you to guilt him after he leaves you. And that way he can come back and say, well, you left me. Just leave that brother alone. Don't waste your time dealing with people who either know they don't want you or don't know what they want. Somebody said, why don't men want to romantically pursue me, approach me, talk, flirt, or like my company, but that's it? Okay, wait. Why don't men want to romantically pursue me? Most approach me, talk, flirt, and like my company, but that's it. I'm never asked out by the men I'm attracted to. This makes me feel unworthy and lonely. I think a lot of people are never asked out by the people they're attracted to. Hell, I felt the same way. I would see women that just, it would just hit me in the chest. It would almost hurt to look at the women because they would be so just everything that I thought I wanted, right? And I would never get they wouldn't even see me. I'd be invisible. I'd be a giant ass invisible person. That's them 6'2.5" ghosts just walking past him. And then other women who I'd be like, hey, how you doing? It's all good. Like I wouldn't even really care a lot. I wouldn't be on them. They'd be chasing me around, smelling my cologne, sniffing my shirt and shit. It'd just be insane. It's like I had some kind of repellent on the women that I wanted, and some kind of pheromone secret for the women that I really didn't care for that much. For a long time that happened. That's just the nature of the beast. Dating is always like that. If men are approaching you, then it tells me you're attractive, and they like your company. That's awesome. But dating is a game of match. The qualities that you have, that you possess, have to be noticed by the right guy. And sometimes a guy might be otherwise interested in you, but he just doesn't notice the qualities in you, or he doesn't have the access to you, or he doesn't create the opportunity to get to know you because he's already occupied by other women. Finding the perfect person takes a while. And finding somebody with the qualities who also notices your qualities is even more a rare event, but it does happen. And dating is a numbers game, like I said. Don't get so hung up on if you've been rejected or if it's happened 5 or 6 or 7 times. Man, I dated 33 girls one year, like damn back to back all year. I was on dates all year, and I don't even remember the 33 girls' names now. I might remember 5 or 6 of them. It was just a busy year for me. I always had a date. Yeah, Wednesdays and Saturdays I was always on a date, but it's just something that happens, man. Don't take that personally. Just stay in the game, and if you get a little tired, take a couple of weeks off, breathe, and get back in the game if you want somebody. Don't internalize it. Just be efficient. Don't take shit and don't revisit people who's showing you different than what you want. YF said only 4 dates. Say he sees pattern that he paid for every date. Says he prefers someone to grab a check or two. I offered to pay on a second. I offered to pay on 2 of those days. Red flag. Yeah, get rid of that motherfucker, man. He has an awkward idea, and he has an awkward idea of a man's positioning in a date. He prefers somebody to pay for dates, or he prefers somebody to grab a check or two. I get it, but if y'all going Dutch, then we friends. And if you want to be friends, we can go Dutch. Cool. But you friend zone if we go in Dutch. I think that some of these guys are like completely rejecting any idea of responsibility that a guy has to court a woman now. And it's a little bit pathetic. So that tells me that in a relationship, you be going Dutch on things that maybe he should be paying, even if he makes more money than you. I've known men who make 6 figures date women who make $20,000 a year and try to make her pay the same amount, half of the bills, even though he makes 4 or 5 times more than her. He say, "Well, I'm paying my half, you pay your half." Like that ain't no man. Like a man's supposed to be trying to take care of home and make things easier for you, and you're supposed to be making things easier for him, but in different ways, and operating in each of your strengths, whatever those are, outside of the gender roles. Whatever your strengths are, you're supposed to be completing each other and balancing each other out. That brother is trying to be either he's really broke and that's problematic, or he has a 50-50 idea that might um, that might stifle your experience because he doesn't want to be fully responsible for any one part of the day, and that means when issues arise, he might not take full responsibility of his issues. And again, I might be projecting and forecasting here, but I haven't met too many of those types of guys, those catch a check or two type of guys, or 50-50 everything type of guys that have actually treated their women very well. Um, they have long relationships when they can find somebody to go for that cheap shit, but it's always a really disappointing experience with them because it doesn't just stop there at the check. It's well, you did this to make me upset, so I did this back to you. It's a tit for tat everything, and so just be very careful. It's a huge red flag, and I'm not sure about that guy. Let me see. Kevin, I've been with. Oh shit! Damn, it disappeared. What's a lot of y'all in here today? I was trying. Hold on. Somebody said, Kevin, I've been with my provider for 3 years. I ignored one of his texts for 2 weeks, and then I texted him back after 2 weeks. He sent me a song that practically said, "I am effed." Is he done with me? Most likely. But why is he done with you? The answer. Leave these brothers alone, man. If these guys are not providing you a healthy relationship, who cares if he's done with you? Be done with him. Um, like leave these guys alone, man. Listen, if the relationship is at that point to where y'all sending each other subliminal song disses, it's a wrap. Somebody says, "What do you think about zodiac signs and compatibility and stuff?" I think that there's some truth to it. As much as many people like to believe they're above the superstitions and the that upper secret knowledge. That stuff is very accurate to in a lot of places in a lot of scenarios. So I'm a Libra. I can't say that I've read anything about a Libra that didn't feel like me. I've known people who don't exactly match their signs, but I've known more people who match their sign to a T, and I'm not sure if it's the power of suggestion or if it's a fact, but um, I know the Bible says something about not to look to the stars for your information. And so it tells me either the people who were in power in the kingdoms that were rewriting the Bible and reinterpreting the Bible didn't want people finding secret knowledge, or the knowledge was powerful enough that God didn't want to be replaced by that, and that as an idol God. So I've just gotten a little deep on y'all, but certain kings reinterpreted the Bible, and I believe they did that in ways that would make subjugating the people to their rulership a lot more easy by sticking the rules in the religion. So I think that, why am I talking about this? Listen, I believe in zodiacs. I think they have their place. I think that there's a lot of knowledge out there that doesn't oppose what we know spiritually, but is just separated from the connection that they share. And so we will never know how they connect, but there's some definite truth to astrology, and it's a little mystifying. Okay. Okay, I got 20 more minutes. I'm getting off of here in 20 minutes because I have shit to do. Watched one TV show with my wife and go to bed and wake up. Took the day off tomorrow to make sure I do enough videos for you guys and to do some work on my YBS Love stuff, because the quarantine has killed my YBSLove.com momentum, and I want to make sure I give my subscribers to YBSLove.com enough content that they keep coming. And that they're being changed and helped and motivated. So if you haven't, you can sign up to YBS Love, Wise Sisterhood. Quarantine has really put a halt to my video production for the last 2 weeks, but I will be re-uploading and actually kicking up the speed of my uploads here pretty soon. So if you want to, it's $10 a month. YBS Love, Wise Sisterhood, YBSLove.com. It's called the Wise Sisterhood. Sign up for that. It's $10 a month, and it's actually a dating program in the making. So you get to watch me as I make the dating program. Once it's complete, it won't be $10 a month, and very few people have a dating program for $10. So it's not like you're getting a whole dating program for $10. You're participating as I create the dating program, which is still a great value. But again, I'm creating the dating program. You're getting a great value, just $10 to be a part of something that's going to probably cost hundreds. Anyway, did I just answer your question? Okay, I'm so sorry. Kelsey C., I'm going to answer your question. Genuine friend recently is showing interest but lacks being assertive. He doesn't know if the interest is reciprocated. He's not as interested. He doesn't know should I give him more time, or am I wasting my time? If he's not assertive, you need to have a conversation with him. Well, you say he's recently showing interest but lacks being assertive. How is he showing interest if he's not being assertive? I think assertive is generally the biggest target, visual or measurement for interest. If he's not being assertive, then he's just hovering. Hovering, it can indicate interest or it can indicate boredom and access. He has access to you and he's bored, so he's hovering. That's a different thing than interest. So if he's not being assertive, I would only assume something of value if he was being assertive. I don't know how you mean he's shown interest without being assertive, because assertive indicates or would assume that he's committing some action that would show you how you stand with him. If he's not committing any actions or being overt in any way, then he's not showing interest. He's just hovering and being a little bit more closer in proximity than normal, but that's not necessarily interest. So don't mistake hovering for interest. If he's not assertive, figure that shit out once he starts to being assertive and actually taking responsibility, or not taking responsibility, but taking the initiative. She said he's flirting and hinting. I had to do that. I was looking for your the rebuttal. He's flirting and hinting. Well, tell him that you need a little bit more than hints. He's a grown ass man. He should be acting like it. Grown men don't drop hints. They take what they want, within reason, not sexually, obviously. But yeah, grown men should be moving at a more obvious pace. Tell him you're not really good at taking hints, and you really only respond to guys when they're obvious because you've been mistaken a lot of times, and some people are just being friendly. So you don't know when people are flirting because they're serious or flirting because they are just bored. You shouldn't even have to explain that to a grown ass man, but if you want to, if you care to do the work on his behalf, that's what you would say. Listen, I don't take hints very well, so what are you doing, bro? What are we doing here? I hope that helps. Um, Somebody says, I don't take men seriously anymore unless they show they have good character and they are willing to give as much as I do. Most men just want to take as much as they can get for as little as they can give. That's absolutely general. I was going to say true, but it's absolutely general. I guess most men, and I'll tell you why it seems like most men. Most men are not dogs. Most men are not all of these things that we've been told they are. The issue with men, okay, I got 15 minutes. The issue with men is that the dogs, the cheats, the liars, the fuck boys are more busy. There are not more of them. They're more busy. Good men aren't chasing down 20 women a month and getting their numbers. Good men aren't running through hundreds of women a year. Fuck boys and liars and cheats and manipulators and narcissists are going through mass numbers of women because they're busy. They discard women. They date very efficiently. They use people for a short time to get what they want, steal the resource, and get out like a thief in the night. Like I told somebody one time, this is all a game of this is all just probability and statistics. I'm going to try to break this math equation down for y'all, and forgive me if the math is off, but the sentiment is the same. The general idea is the same. Say there's 1,000 people in a particular dating pool. Say 100 of those guys, no, say 200 of those guys, 200 of the 500 guys are dogs. They cheats, liars, scam artists, whatever you want. And the 300 of the 500 guys are great men. And say there are 500 women that are all good women on one side, which we all know that that's not true. As many guys are dogs, there's many women who are as bad. So y'all women be acting like y'all ain't up to nothing. Women be out here doing wrong all day, every day, just like guys sometimes. I don't think not as many, not in as large numbers, and not as aggressively, but they are definitely out here. I know some terrible wives that screw other men for fun, for on a Tuesday pastime. The point is this. Say 500 men, 500 women. Say 200 men are dogs, 300 men are great. Those 200 dogs are going to sleep with multiple women a week and a month. Those great men are going to be taking their time trying to get to know women. They might get some tail every 2 months, every 3 months, every month. Say the greatest men are sleeping with one new girl a month. Say those dogs are at the club trying to take a new girl home every Tuesday night, every Sunday night, every Saturday night, every Friday night. Those dogs are going to sleep with those 500 women before 100 of the 300 men even get access to those women and meet them, because those dogs are covering more ground more quickly because they're dating efficiently. They're not wasting a lot of time. They're screwing women on the first date, screwing women on the second date, third date, screwing women on the night they meet them, and they get out and they're off to the races with somebody else. Those other guys are spending time trying to get to know women and take them out on dates and ask them about themselves. And maybe they might have sex, but they still spend so much time with one woman trying to figure out if there's potential, that by the time one good man has decided, oh, I don't know, man, we've been dating for about 6 weeks and it's just not working out. I'm gonna find somebody else. Hell, a dog has been through 6, 7, 10 women in that same 6 weeks because he's on top of things and all he's doing is chasing down women. So 200 dogs, 300 good men, those 200 dogs are going to run through all 500 women if they're not careful, those women. And then they're going to say all men are dogs, when in fact, only about 40% of men are dogs. But it doesn't matter because those 40% of men are so aggressive and so hell-bent on getting all the ass they can possibly collect that all those 500 women are going to see are those 200 dogs coming at them full speed ahead. And so that's kind of how this shit happens. It's just not that many guys out here that's that terrible, but enough are and enough are busy enough to where it feels like every guy is a dog. But y'all just sharing the same terrible, no good, horrible, very bad public D with each other. And there's a lot of guys just standing on the sidelines trying to figure out why this shit works on y'all. And I don't know. I talk to women for a living. I still can't figure out why it works. You know, we all have an affinity for the things that we can't have and things that feel out of our reach. The thing is this, you know, even me, I had to learn how to start valuing the qualities that I seen in a woman instead of the qualities that I wish I could be exposed to. I had to learn, me personally, how to stop chasing people, or not chasing, but pursuing women who didn't have any affinity for me. Um, Now, I'm a I like having my mind I like having control over my mind, my thought patterns. I believe in a lot of mind mastery and stuff like that. So it was easy enough for me to convince myself that if somebody didn't like me, somebody didn't care for me, then they didn't exist. And I tricked myself into believing basically that I never let myself have a crush after a certain point. I never let myself have a crush on any woman that disregarded me or was indifferent to me. If women could pick that mind mastery up, they would be doing themselves a great service. But in many cases, they are so interested in the guy who is playing games, who's indifferent to them, that they can't shake the idea that somehow or another he's better than the guy who's attentive and showing up on dates and calling when he says he's going to call and all of those things. Uh, if you like, when you are obsessive about self-love, and you become your favorite person, then the people at that point, when you're your favorite person, you're the person that you protect the most. The people who love you the way that you would want someone to love your favorite person, when you're your biggest fan, and people treat you well, they treat you with love and respect and honor. It's almost like if somebody helps my son and I can't help him, but somebody else helps my son. There's nothing I wouldn't do for that person who helped my son when I couldn't help him. I would, probably tear up if somebody helped my son in a way that I couldn't help him. I'd be so overtaken with gratitude toward that person that I would almost love that person instantly. Um, the thing is, if you're your favorite person, you have those types of responses sometimes when somebody loves you the way you deserve to be loved. And that becomes the allure. That becomes the thing that qualifies a person to you, is that, my God, they love me so much. They love me so greatly. They love me so deeply. That's such a valuable person. They have so much good qualities. Man, they're everything that I need spiritually, energetically, and everything. You're not necessarily, yeah, and again, this is lofty, but there's some truth to it. You're not always looking at, well, I like him taller. I'm not horny when I look at him. He doesn't give me butterflies. Those things matter a little bit less when you're focused on how much you deserve to be loved, and then you see somebody who loves you in that way and sees you as powerfully as you see yourself. If you have a lot of self-esteem, people with high self-esteem don't date people who don't have a reverence for them. But people with lower self-esteem seem to think that somehow or another the greatest thing in the world is always that thing that's just out of reach. And so, I learned to kiss my own ass enough many years ago. And so you had to really love me as much as I loved me to even get close to me. And I don't know if there's any message for you guys in that. Maybe I just kissed my own ass a little bit, but I'm sorry. Um, Samira Stone, I'm sorry. She said, just met, uh, started 2 weeks ago, work out with a physical trainer. He's single. I'm attracted to him. Should I tell him how I feel? I just beat cancer. Work out with him for longer. Try to graduate the conversations from training to personal life stuff. If he reciprocates the unprofessional conversation outside of sex talk, don't talk, nasty or nothing, but if he's training you and you can get him to talk about his life and he's open to you, he's open to talking about things that have nothing to do with your training, and he enjoys talking to you, then he'll seek an opportunity to speak to you outside of the training environment. And so that's how you do that. If he doesn't want to expound upon his life and have conversations that would create a deeper understanding and connection, then he's not interested in whatever conversation that you're interested in. And so give him the opportunity to get personal. If he refuses to get personal, he's not into you, move on. Okay, I got 7 minutes, y'all. Damn, I'll be hanging up on 531 people. This has been an insane night. First of all, thank you. This is a new milestone for me. I just reached 200,000 subscribers, so I want to thank everybody who actually subscribed. And out of the 500 of y'all, I'm sure half of y'all are not subscribed. Most people just watch my videos. I have more people who watch every video who have never subscribed damn near than I have subscribers that's watching videos. So for everybody who's watching, If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button, comment, all of that crap, and share my videos if you think they're helpful. The biggest, baddest, greatest thing you can do for me is share my videos. If you share my videos, more people see them and they help my views. And when they help my views, it incentivizes me to make more videos. Um, I used to, and from time to time, still get very discouraged at the videos I have that are just like super low in views. And YouTube is really playing with my views right now. They be doing the most when it comes to my views. They be trying to convince me that nobody's watching any videos. Like, bro, I got 200,000 subscribers. I have a lot of active listeners. I have 14,000 Instagram. Oh, I hit 14,000 on Instagram today too. So I'm lame on Instagram, but not that lame anymore. So I'm first of all, hold on, damn. Thank you, MJ Cooper, for the $6.99 super chat. I love you and I appreciate you. But like I said, I hit 14,000 on Instagram, and they're very active people on Instagram. And then, like I said, I got a lot of YouTube love. So sometimes I don't get YouTube doesn't share my videos, and it's super disheartening to see people post fight videos or some ratchet video or some racist person following a Mexican with a camera and just negative stuff and stuff that doesn't help anybody or change any lives for the better. And just to be clear, every video of racial injustice needs to be shared, so I'm not against that. I'm just saying I'm trying to do a great thing for people's lives, and when I'm working hard trying to make sure I help change somebody's life, and I'm creating value for people and trying to really help people, those videos don't get shared. But if I showed a video of two people fighting over the last chicken sandwich, the damn thing will get 2 million views. It's just irritating. It's frustrating sometimes. And I try not to focus so much on the numbers. I just want to help the people who my message is for. But there are a lot of people on this YouTube platform giving shitty, shoddy, shiesty advice, and they getting all these millions and millions and millions of followers. I don't compare myself to them, but I can say, it can be frustrating knowing that those realities exist, and a person actually trying to do good work from a place of just being very genuine has to struggle and struggle and struggle just to keep up with people who are otherwise posting bullshit that it just doesn't help anybody. Again, with the exception of racial injustice videos and social justice videos and the things that are important and need to be shared. There's a lot of cat playing the piano shit that's getting millions and millions of views, and this is some bull crap out here. And some of these relationship coaches are different too. I'm not gonna speak on none of them because I don't watch their shit, but I've heard of some terrible advice that people get when they talk to me about they just pay so and so this much money for a call, and so told them that. I am not gonna repeat what some of these coaches are telling people, but I can tell you that it's irritating knowing that some of the people that I'm behind aren't necessarily doing this from the best place in their heart or spirit. So with that said, anyway, I got 3 minutes and I'm going to try to answer somebody's question. Don't feel bad about anything with us. Somebody said, don't feel bad about hanging up with us. You got kids in the family. Well, my kids are asleep. I'm going to watch some TV with my wife and I'll eat dinner. We eating street tacos after I get off of here. I know it's late as hell, but we night owls, man. My wife went to sleep at 6 a.m. yesterday. I was getting up for work. She was going to sleep. Somebody said, when is the book coming? Okay. I'm actually working on the book right now, like actively. I'm creating content for the book. I want the book to be done by my birthday, actually, by October 10th. I set a far out goal, but I'm working at an accelerated pace. So anyway, I want the book to be done by my birthday. I'm in the process of potentially getting a publicist and starting to make my rounds on TV, and I'm just trying to expand my brand and putting a lot more focus on it than I used to. And so the book is absolutely coming. I think it's going to be amazing, but I wanted to make sure I gave something great to the world, just in case I only got the one shot, and I don't know how long I'll be hot. So I'm going to do what I can with it and make sure that my family benefits greatly. French, love and respect to you, French. Thank you for the $6 super chat. She said, question, and this will be my last question because I only got 2 minutes and I'll probably ramble for longer than that. My safety is very important to me when it comes to dating. I use my fake name. The last time a guy I dated got offended. I talked to somebody the other day that said a similar thing happened. I suppose you have your reasons for that, and I don't really blame you for that. But you need to you need to at some point disclose to even a new person that, hey, until I get to know you, just call me this. I don't know you. These guys out here doing, thus and so to women. You can invite that. You can include that in the conversation in a way that's not offensive, or as offensive as talking to somebody for weeks and then say, hey, listen, I didn't tell you my real name. That's offensive if you thought you were making headway with a woman. But if you tell a guy the first time you meet, listen, just call me French. I'm assuming French isn't your real name because you wouldn't tell everybody on YouTube. Just say, hey, just call me French. I'll tell you my real name if you act right, or I'll tell you my real name if we vibe out. If I feel safe with you at some point, I'll tell you my real name. But I just don't want everybody knowing my real name and where I live and all of that stuff, because people are creepy. I think that a guy will understand that if you give that information up front and just let him know that you're just a private person and you don't trust that every guy on the internet is safe, and he'll completely understand that. But if you reveal it to him after 3 weeks of talking, he's going to be a little bit offended. With that said, continue to do your thing, French, but just tell people up front that, hey, this ain't my real name, and if that's a problem with you, then I'll do my thing over here. You ain't really missing nothing if somebody doesn't understand that. So somebody said I got 10 minutes to go probably. It's 12:45, y'all. I got to get off of this phone, or off of this, on this phone, YouTube. I've been talking to y'all like I'm on the phone. Before I go, I'm gonna drop my stuff. I'm actually gonna start pushing because I'm trying to get out of this house and I need another house for my family. I'm gonna start actually promoting my t-shirts. Many of y'all know I've been selling t-shirts for 3 years, but I never mentioned them because I just haven't done any more designs. And the first time I did any designs, they were just kind of lame and weak. But I meant what I said, and the messages on the t-shirts meant something to me. But now I need to figure out how to revamp my store so I can actually start giving y'all products that y'all can appreciate wearing. So my Teespring, I'm having a sale on t-shirts right now. My wife has put 2 more designs together today, and we'll probably put a couple more together this weekend. But there's a 15% off, 15% off promo code for 15% off t-shirts on my Teespring store. Pay no attention to the Teespring advertisement that you might see in the comment section or right above the comment section. There are new designs on there. Those are the first designs I ever did. But it's 15% off until the 7th of next month. Yeah, the 7th of next month. 15% off until the 7th. The promo code is NEWME, NEWME, all caps, I suppose. So promo code NEWME. I'll let you guys know on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram at KFIC24, you'll always be privileged to that information because I'll do a swipe up link with all the t-shirt advertisements when I get a new design up. But I'm actually about to start pushing this stuff and start doing a little bit of a better job of self-promoting because I do have a goal. I want to do this full time, and I'm going to have to start acting like it's a business instead of a hobby. Anyway, promo code NEWME, 15% off on Teespring. Go check out a couple of the new designs. I think I've told y'all everything. If you need a consultation, go to girltalkwithguys.com and order your hour-long consultation or conversation, or email advice if that's something you want. If you're interested in it, you can join the Y Sisterhood at ybslove.com. I think that's all the stuff I got. Oh, if you need an STI test or STD test or a thyroid test or a blood test or a kidney test or whatever else test that you need, you can click on the link on the Let's Get Checked link, and you can order any one of those tests. If you do the coupon code KEVIC, KEV20, I'm sorry, not KEVIC, but KEV20, you get 20% off of whatever you order off the Let's Get Checked website. I think I've said enough. That's enough self-promoting. Thank you so much for viewing. I appreciate all 426 of y'all that's still here. I'll get with y'all later. I'm going to try to figure out how to. Okay, I think I got it off.